There we go. Hello, it's me, bowl of food, apparently. So, Amazon had a bit of a problem getting the challenge here, so decided that instead I'm going to just have fun with this. I'm not gonna have fun with this. Do you see how many Pokemon there are in here? I mean, come on. Let's just... I'm gonna suffer. I'd like to sell you some State Farm insurance. As a matter of fact, I'd like to sell you my Angry Birds copy for the 3DS. Let me show that. Alright. This is gonna be, it's gonna be rough. And honestly, I'm not sure exactly how long this is gonna take. But I'm at the point where I just don't care no more. So, according to the internet, that's rough, buddy. Not gonna lie, you got a nice face and a nice one. Thank you, I appreciate that. I do have a wonderful face, and I'm wearing my merchandise. Just, you know, just fake out, people. So, according to the internet, I'm gonna have to read 931 Pokemon descriptions. I'm not sure if that includes different forms. If it does, balls. Thank you for the few hearts. I saw that one. That was pretty cool. Alright, anyway. I'm going to start here in around 5 minutes, at like the 5-minute mark, just because I'm going to get people time to join in, because I know that I had a bunch of friends who were like, oh, I want to watch. I was like, okay. So, right now it's kind of just like a Q&A section, like, oh, well, I'm just going to answer some questions while people wait. I have a signed picture of Wayne Knight. I think that's pretty cool. I have a signed picture of this beautiful man. That's my dad right there, I swear. We like watching you, respectfully. Thank that. Whatever you say, Buck. Whatever you say, Buckaroo. I assure you. That's not how that is. I think it only seems fitting that I actually wear this. It was me. It was me. It was me the whole time. There was no one else. I'm gonna wear a Z-ring now, because no one's gonna stop me. Not in a stalkerish way. Well, you said that in a stalkerish way. You said, we like watching you. So, oh, gee, the Z-ring. Yes, I do have a Z-ring. I have had one since 2017, I think. So, that's always fun. So, ignore that. But, I mean, you know. Why did I look at this thing like I was checking the time? I was like, oh, what time is it? So, fun story. Why is there an airhead on my desk? I don't remember having one of these. Why does it say peanut free? I would hope so. Can you imagine eating an airhead with like chunks in it? I wouldn't. I no. Just no. God no. Please no. Do not. No. Never. No. Not. All right. Well, then we're gonna go ahead and get ready to start here. This was published by Scholastic, the same people who like post and publish all the books you read in your school, the books you read in your school or whatever. I think that's hilarious. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. I've been here since 2000 and I was 6 years old. So since 2013, I guess. How to say it. This is where I'm probably gonna get canceled on Twitter. It's because I'm just saying like the Pokemon names, and people are gonna be like, no, that's not how you say it. Well, that's how the book says to pronounce it, so that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. I have a I have a BFB book and I read through it, all the characters. Get those peanuts away from me. Oh, that's right. Well, honestly, the problem is with characters like that is that it can reading these kind of like handbooks are really tedious. Pokemon, yes. All right, I think we better go and start. First up, we got a Abomasnow. That beautiful man right there. That is a 7'3" tall beast. He's a grass and ice type covered in snow. Snow-covered mountains are Abomasnow's preferred habitat. It creates blizzards to hide itself and keep others away. By the way, this is the first out of 931 Pokemon, so. Rayquaza. You're old. I'm 16. Leave me alone. Don't even with that. Don't even. Anyway, all right. Next, okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. I'm not gonna read I'm not gonna read their weight in imperial measurements and metric measurements and all their possible moves, because some of them have like 300,000 possible moves, and I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm not doing it. All right, we got Abra. Even while Abra is sleeping, which is most of the time, it can escape a foe by teleporting away. Sometimes it wakes to find itself in an unfamiliar location and gets scared. Relatable. I too teleport around. Absol. Where Absol appears, disaster often follows. People blamed it for causing these disasters, so they drove it away into the mountains. But in truth, it was only trying to warn everyone. Coming soon to a theater near you. Abra like me for real? It is. It is. It really is. Absol is me. I'm just like trying to help people, and they're like, "No, you're not doing that. No, 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 no." Adam bin Albin. That's crazy. Absol's 3'11". I didn't know that. All right, we got Excelgor, which, what is that? After coming out of its shell. Oh, I'm gay now. Excelgor is light and quick, moving with the speed of a ninja. It wraps its body up to keep from drying out. This is just the fourth Pokemon we gotta read. I can't do this. Okay. Everyone is from Xbox. Yeah, well, gotta have friends starting first. Next we got Aegislash. Okay, Alex. Aegislash. It says pronunciation right there. Aegislash, not Aegislash, you weirdo. Okay? It's Aegislash. Aegislash has long been seen as a symbol of royalty. In olden days, these Pokemon often accompanied the king. This dude is 5'7". Just had to kill you. Aegislash is a Pokemon that whenever I play the Kalos region games, I always get an Aegislash. I have to. It's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful Pokemon. We got Aerodactyl. We're going to the old fossil age. In its own time, this ancient Pokemon was master of the skies. The fangs that line its jaws are like the teeth of a saw, and it uses them to grip and tear at its opponents. That's terrifying. All right, next we got Aggron, which I never knew that's how you pronounced it. I'm kidding, that's how you pronounce it. I mean, literally, it's like a 6-letter long word. Aggron is extremely protective of the mountain as it claims its territory. After a natural disaster, it will work tirelessly. I hate ADHD so much. It will work It will work tirelessly. Where's the W from? I keep saying W. There's no W in that sentence. The first and second thing you sent me is wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was so hopeful about it, but then it just didn't go right. It will work tirelessly to restore its mountain, rebuilding the topsoil and planting trees. Aggron is part of Team Trees. You should too. Hashtag totally not sponsored. Okay, moving on, because I'm never going to look at him the same way again. We got Apom, the monkey with a hand on its butt. Anyway, Apom's tail is much handier than its actual hands, which have become clumsy from lack of use. It can use the tail to climb up high into trees and scout for food. Bowl, if you had a personal If you had a personal Pokemon, then what would it be named and what would its traits have? Hatwim Akbar. If I had a personal trait or a personal Pokemon, what would it be named? Shalat. He'd be a fighting and normal type. And he would know Draco Meteor. Next we got the final evolve form of Abra, which is weird because we still have to get to Kadabra at some point. We're still in the A's, by the way. This has taken 10 minutes and we're still in the A's, just so you know. Alakazam. What a name. Jay Schlatt would know Endure. Would know Endure. Yeah. Alakazam's brain never stops growing, and its head has to keep expanding to contain its enormous intellect. If its psychic powers overflow, everyone nearby will get a splitting headache. I'm telling you what, man, who would want to have one entering alcohol? Who would want to own an Alakazam if it gave you headaches every time? Alakazam. All right, we got a. I'm never gonna say this right. Kick a dog, demon power. All right, we got Alola Mola. I actually said that right. Like one of the most forgotten about Pokemon in all of the universe, it has a reputation as a healer in the open sea where it lives. Pokemon that have been hurt gather around it so it can fix them up with the curative slime that covers its body. Moving on, Altaria. When Altaria sings through the sky in its beautiful soprano voice, anyone listening falls into a happy daydream. Its soft, cottony wings are perfect for catching up drafts. See, this is what I'm saying. Some of these Pokemon would be amazing to have as partners. Just have one. Just have an Altaria on your side, and you would just have happy daydreams all the time. Just saying, this would be like the best thing to have. Anyway, we got Amora. This episode made me cry. I remember that. Amora's call is said to summon the glowing colors of the aurora. These ancient Pokemon do best in cold climates that are hard to find in today's world. Oh, that's right, because they brought them back. Oh, we got Ambipom, double hand monkey from Butt. Ambipom can be territorial when it's defending its favorite trees from rival Passimian. But it also has a soft side. It shows affection by hugging its trainer tightly with both of its long tails. Oh god. I swear, if you guys... It would not let me chat. Well, it's letting you chat now. I'm probably gonna get remixed for saying this Pokemon's name, so please don't. I mean, if you're going to... At this point, whatever. We got Amoonguss. I'm not even joking. Amoonguss. Leave me alone. In a swaying dance, Amoonguss waves its arm caps which look like Pokeballs in an attempt to lure the unwary. It often doesn't work, because who would fall for something that looks like a mushroom? Doxed. Stop. Stop. Windmills. Can you make gaming vids instead of memes, bro? Listen. I gotta get the capture card first, and then I can do it. Then life could be dream. Anyway. Next we have. Oh, that's an interesting Pokemon name. Oh no, don't. No, Steven, don't do that. No. Oh god. Okay. Anyway, Ampharos. I thought it was Ampharos. Is it really Ampharos? Have I been saying that wrong this whole time? Ros. I've been saying that wrong this whole time. Why are we? Oh, the chat's going crazy. They're just arguing. Sailors have a tradition of using Ampharos as a beacon to guide them home. The light on its tail is so bright that it can be seen from a great distance, but we won't know how far that distance is because we're incapable of telling us anything. Anorith. It's possible to restore Anorith from a fossil, but this Pokemon doesn't do well in modern oceans because the environment is so different from the original home. It can swim quickly with its 8 wings. Swim quickly with its 8 wings. This is what every chat is. Hey. Do what you're gonna do. I'm just doing what I promised. Araquanid. That is very hard to say. Araquanid. Okay. I need help. I just found this under my desk and I have no words because I don't remember ever making this thing. I don't know how long it's been under there for, but I just found this thing under my desk for no reason. So, picture. Okay, that's it. That was your screenshot opportunity. That's it. That's all you get. Anyway. In battle, Araquanid uses the water bubble that surrounds its head as a weapon, headbutting its opponents or cutting off their air. When it's not battling, it uses the bubble as a shield to protect its weaker companions. God, that's terrible. Oh no, there was a lot of 34 rules made of this Pokemon. Arbok, also known backwards as Cobra. The patterns on Arbok's stomach can confuse and befuddle its opponents long enough for it to trap them in its coils. Nearly 24 variations of these patterns have been observed. And yet I've only seen that one. Araquid? Oh god, that's what some people call him. I'm like, no. Arcanine. No, Santo Wilson. Arcanine. Beautiful and majestic, Arcanine uses the flame that burns within itself as a fuel to run amazing distances. Ancient Eastern folklore speaks of this powerful Pokemon. It's called the legendary Pokemon, and it's just a fire dog. That's all it is. There's no special point to it. It's just a dog on fire. Oh yeah, how about the Pokemon version of God? Arceus. We're already there. And I'm going to go ahead and break every rumor. It's not Arceus. It's not Arceus. Arceus. It's not Arceus. If someone calls it Arceus, I will kill you. It says in the book right here. I'll have to shove this. Arceus. Bonus. Burning God. Wow. Okay. In the mythology of the Sinnoh region, Arceus emerged from its egg into complete nothingness and then shaped the world and everything in it. What did you do when you were born? I made the universe. That's it. Just a little thing. Just a little something. Are us. I saw that. I saw that. It said are us. I saw that. You can't escape, Emerson. Bro's brain is gonna be filled with the Pokemon characters. It already is. It already is. I already know all these Pokemon by heart. I've played every single Pokemon game. I'm getting a wave of nostalgia. Arcan. Although modern-day flying Pokemon are descended from Arcan, this ancient Pokemon could not truly fly. It uses its wings to glide between trees or swoop onto opponents from above. Arcan. Right, Toys R Us. God. I can't. Okay. Anyway, we got the evolved form right next to him, Archeops. In the ancient world, Archeops could apparently fly, but preferred to run, covering the ground at speeds of around 25 miles an hour. They often teamed up against opponents. One would corner and distract the foe, while another swooped in from above. Huh. Ow. Interesting. I didn't know that, actually. Archeops? Arkansas? Arkansas? Arkansas. One came from above. Oh, shut up! God, shut up. Alright. Ariados. Ariados' thread is sometimes used in weaving to produce a particularly strong piece of cloth. When making its web, Ariados spins this web from both ends of its body. It's a spider. It's a red spider. That's all it is. Armaldo. After evolving, Armaldo lives primarily on the land, though it still hunts for food in the sea. This ancient Pokemon has been revealed as the ancestor of some modern bug types. I'd still like to point out the fact that is everyone in the Pokemon universe a vegan? Or do they eat certain Pokemon and then others not? Like, do they just eat Magikarp? Or, like, that's a question I genuinely have. Is, like, what do you eat? Like, I've seen Ash eat, like, a steak before. Like, you kill a Miltank or a Tauros. Ow, my face is really hurting today. Anyway, you kill the Tauros. The way you're saying names, I just think of something instantly, like, rhymes kind of. Oh, no, I don't want to know. Oh, no, I don't want to know. I'm too scared to know. I don't want to know, I'm too scared to know, and I'm not going to know. We're almost done with the A's. 26 more letters to go. Aromatisse. I'll never say it like that again. Aromatisse uses his powerful scent as a weapon in battle. It can overpower an opponent with a strategic stench. Austin Mulholland. Sorry, guys. Only, I think only one person watching the stream would get that joke. Anyway. No, I think. I think not. We got Aeron. Aeron chews up metal objects, and from iron ore to steel bridges, and uses the metal to build up its body. It can destroy a heavy truck with a full-speed charge. This boy is 1 foot tall and weighs 130 pounds. Metal. Anyway. Finally, legendary Pokemon, Articuno. When Articuno flaps its wings, the air turns chilly. This legendary Pokemon often brings snowfall in its wake. Really? The old Minecraft handbooks? Kind of. This handbook is literally just to tell you, like, when you're playing the games or, like, watching the show, you're like, oh, you have your own Pokedex now. Who's that Pokemon? Da-da-da-da-da. You can find them in your book. It's fun. It's always fun to have these kinds of things. Hey. All right. Audino. With the sensitive feelers on their ears, Audino can listen to people's heartbeats to pick up on their current state. Egg hatching can be predicted as well. They life. Life give. Life. Strife. Ice. Aurorus. With its calm and gentle demeanor and beautifully colored sails. It's just yellow and purple. Is that purple? I don't know. I can't tell. I'll never be able to tell. I'm assuming it's purple because someone told me it's blue or purple, and then you guys decide, is it blue or purple? I can't tell. Is it blue or purple? I'll never know. Anyway, 8'10". That is terrifying. Oh, look, Avalugg. Avalugg's broad, flat back is a common resting place for groups of Bergmite. Its big, bulky body can crush obstacles in its path. It's Burble. Shut up. You guys are insane, but, you know, I never replace you. That's the honest truth from the bottom of my heart. That's so adorable. Alright, we got Axew. If one of Axew's tusks breaks off and it quickly regrows, even stronger and sharper than before, Axew uses its tusks to crush berries and mark territory. Every time a Pokemon's from the Unova region, I'm going to speak in a British accent, just letting you know. Just letting you know. If the Pokemon is from the Unova region, I'm gonna read it in British, and you can't stop. Read it in British. I'm out of it today. I'm really out of it today, and I really need help. Alright, we got Azumarill. We're finally almost at B's. Yeah, next page. Azumarill. When Azumarill spots a Pokemon struggling in the water, it creates a balloon of air, so the other Pokemon can't breathe. It has excellent hearing. Like moi. Azurill. Not the same Pokemon. Azurill can fling itself more than 10 yards by spinning the large ball at the end of its tail and then throwing it. It can also use the tail to bounce around. It's adorable, isn't it? And not at all weird or suspicious in the way they described it. Anyway. Bagon. No, not bagel. Not bacon. Bagon. Frustrated by its lack of wings, Bagon goes around smashing things with its rocky head. This single-minded pursuit of flight appears to be genetically motivated. That's sad. Baltoy. I need help. I need help. Yes, this Pokemon's name is Baltoy. Yes, this Pokemon's name is Baltoy. Researchers have found cave art apparently created by ancient people showing a creature that resembles ball toy. These Pokemon tend to gather together in old cemeteries. God. Oh, look at that. It knows them. It can learn the move self-destruct. No! And explosion. And imprison. God, these Pokemon, man. I never realized their names. Bagel, bacon, sandwich. No, please don't. Be gone. There's one. Wait, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Adam, was it? Yeah, Adam said that. All right, we got Bayonet. Bayonet came into being from an abandoned child's toy fueled by resentment and vengeance. Some people speculate that if Bayonet's trainer takes good care of it, its spirit will be able to rest. Yeah, treat your plushies good. I have 100 of them. They're in my closet, but you know, hold on, wait. Wait. Treat your plushies good. Okay? I just stabbed them in the eye, but you know, ignore that. Treat your plushies good or they'll come back and haunt you and kill you. Fun fact. So, you know, treat your plushies good. Barbaracle. Like Barnacle, but, you know, more buff. When seven Binacle come together to fight as one, a Barbaracle is formed. The head gives the orders, but the limbs don't always listen. That's sad. That's really sad. Just combining with like 7 people. And they don't listen to you. What's the point? Barboach. It's so hard to hold on to a slippery Barboach that doing so has become a competition in some places. This Pokemon prefers to live in muddy water where it uses its whiskers to sense its surroundings. Uh-oh, we got another uniform Pokemon. You know what that means. Wait. 3, 2, 1. Basculin is notoriously aggressive, and skills of this Pokemon dominate any lake they come into inhabit. The red and blue striped forms constantly clash over territory. Yeah. We all hate them, don't we? Well, yes, anyway, time to move on to Bastiodon. Bastiodon is well guarded against a frontal assault, but it's vulnerable from the rear, like most people are. Fossils of Bastiodon and Rampardos have often been discovered in the same places, often locked together in eternal combat. That is unsettling. Apologies, everyone. My phone just told me that it's at 10%, so we're going to have to find a charger here in a second. I'm going to keep an eye on the phone. Oh, Lord. Illegals in my book. Shut up. Bayleaf. The tree shoots that form a wreath around Bayleaf's neck give off an invigorating fragrance. A tube-shaped leaf protects each shoot. That's all about there is about Bayleaf. We don't really care about Bayleaf that much. Beartick. Beartick live in the far north where the seas are very cold. Their fangs and claws are made of ice formed by their own freezing breath. That... bad for these Pokemon. Beautifly. Anyway, Beautifly. To attract a Beautifly, plant flowers near your windows. This Pokemon uncoils its long mouth to gather pollen from flowers. It's like a bee and a butterfly. Just, you know, gave birth to that thing. Oh, speaking of bees, Beedrill. Stay far away from a Beedrill's nest. Nest? What the frick is a nest? I'm lost. Stay away from Beedrill nest. Stay away from a Beedrill's nest. These territorial Pokemon will swarm any intruder in a furious attack. Okay, I'm done. No, screw you. BM. Uh-oh, I gotta read it in a British accent. Here we go. While flashing its fingers in multiple colors, Behem has the power to control its opponent's minds and overwrite the memories. You don't remember meeting this Pokemon? How interesting. Would you believe me if I told you that this stream started 30 minutes ago? Time is limited, my friends. I love y'all. That's not how you make a heart. I love y'all, though. Beldum. Groups of Beldum communicate using the power of magnetism. It uses the magnetic force generated inside its cells to pull its opponent within range of its claws. Blossom. I honestly forgot you existed. This thing, right here, on the right side. Beautiful. Anyway, Blossom, in strong sunlight, this Pokemon's leaves spin in a joyful dance. Blossom that evolved from a particularly stinky gloom will grow the most beautiful flowers. And next we got Bellsprout. Don't do it. Don't think of it. Don't do it. Imagine if a Foxy came behind Alex when he's streaming this. Funny you should say that, actually. Stay in your closet. Just stay in your closet, please. Don't make me come over there and close the door on you again. I will close the door on you 4 times repeatedly until you turn into a dang plushie. I will do it, I swear. Okay. Glad we're in agreement. Alright, sorry guys. Anyway, next we got Bergmite. Wait, hold on, we didn't even do Bellsprout. Bellsprout's long, thin body can bend in any direction, so it's good at dodging attacks. The liquid it spits is highly corrosive. Bergmite. Alright, Bergmite. When cracks form in Bergmite's icy body, it uses freezing air to patch itself up with new ice. It lives high in the mountains. That's it. Beware. 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 Beware, beware. Anyway, think twice before making friends with a Beware. This super strong Pokemon might be even more dangerous to those it likes because it tends to deliver bone-crushing hugs as a sign of affection. Beware. That was punny. That was really punning of you, Pokemon. We love you too. I'm touched. Not literally, though, because that'd be weird. Alright, let's see what we got next. God, it's terrifying. B-Barrel. That's something, alright. With their large, sharp teeth, B-Barrel easily cut up trees to build nests. Sometimes these nests block small streams and divert the flow of water, like a beaver would. But don't ask questions, though. That's wrong. Anyway, Bidoof. Bidoof live beside the water, where they gnaw on rock or wood to keep their front teeth worn down. They have a steady nature and are not easily upset. I'm assuming Bidoof's teeth grow like infinitely long, assuming that's why they shave them down. There's no other reason. Why can Bidoof learn superpower? I'm not even gonna ask. Bowel Sprout. God, man. Done. Binacle. Binacle live in pairs, 2 on the same rock. They comb the beach for seaweed to eat. Hold on. Barbarical said 7. 7 isn't an even number, but they travel in pairs of 2. That's gruesome. That's terrible. Pea shooter. Stop. Bellsprout was so long ago. No, stop. I know the internet is not that delayed for you guys. Come on. Bellsprout was so long ago. Okay. Bisharp. Backed up. Oh. You're in Unova. I almost forgot. Backed up by a posse of Pawniard, Bisharp remains calm and collected in battle. Despite its strength, if the blade on its head is ever chipped, it forfeits its position as the group's leader. I don't know why I was speaking in a weird accent for a second. I don't even know what accent I was speaking in, to be quite honest with you, but, you know, fun. Anyway, Blacephalon, the one with the exploding head. Blacephalon, one of the mysterious Ultra Beasts, has an unexpected method of attack. It makes its own head blow up. Its opponents are so surprised by this that it can take advantage and steal their energy. Blastoise. Thank you, Emerson, for that very heartwarming statement there. I too. Anyway, from the spouts on its shell, Blastoise can fire water bullets with amazing accuracy. It can hit a target from more than 160 feet away, just like those water cannons you got as kids or whatever that said, like, shoot up to 100 feet, and it goes like, that. Blaziken. This is a fine Pokemon. That's not what I meant, by the way. I just meant, like, this is a good Pokemon to play as, not fine, because I would never be attracted to a bird. Toy Chica. Anyway, with continuing strengthening of its legs, Blaziken can leap over a 30-story building. What? A 30-story build? 300-foot tall building. You can jump over a 300-foot. Yeah, okay. The flames that flare from its wrists burn hotter against a worthy foe. I need to lay down. My back is hurting from sitting up like this. I'm gonna lean back and just sit here like. There we go. This is much better. Blissey. I'm done. I'm not gonna say it. Eating the egg of a Blissey has a calming effect on even the wildest of tempers. The soft, fluffy fur that covers its body is extremely sensitive to its surroundings and can even sense emotions this way. I'm tired. It's 9:37. You think you're tired? It's probably gonna be 12 a.m. before I finish this. I don't know. I could speed through it. Blitzel's mane attracts lightning and stores the electricity. It can discharge this electricity and control flashes to communicate with others. The crystals that dot Boldor's body are the crystals that dot Boldor's body are masses of pure energy that can be used as an impressive fuel source if they were to come off. It's good at finding underground water, but being near water makes it uneasy. Bonsly sweats by releasing moisture from its eyes, which makes it look like it's crying. Imagine sweating from your eyes. Why are you crying? I'm not. I have really sweaty eyes. It prefers a dry environment where few plants grow, but that often leaves it without camouflage. Yep, it does. Bouffalante, like buffalo. Get it? Anyway, though Bouffalante can knock a train off the rails with the force of its headbutt, it doesn't worry about hurting itself because its fluffy fur absorbs the impact. I know, the ability of this Pokemon is like normally like, I don't know, it makes it like, the damage done to it is like reduced. Would you shut up with the bendy incident, the bendy references? Bound Sweet. Bound Sweet smells good enough to eat. What? Which sometimes gets it into trouble. The intensely sugary liquid it gives off can be diluted to bring the sweetness level down so people can drink it. Okay. Breakson. When Breakson pulls a twig out of its tail, the friction from its fur sets the wood on fire. It can use this flaming twig as a tool or a weapon. We know. We've seen it before. Braviary. It's also Unova Pokemon. In the ancient Alola region, Braviary was respected as the hero of the sky. Several of these Pokemon teamed up to fight back against people who threatened the territory. Or so the story goes. That's it. They didn't finish it. They just left it there. I hate it. I hate it so much. Why do that to me? I hate it. Why would you end it like that? Alright then. Well, let's move on. If a seed falls from Breloom's tail, you really shouldn't eat it. Don't eat the seed. The seeds are toxic and taste terrible. Its arms stretched to throw impressive punches. Okay. Every Pokemon on this book so far has been looking left, right, down, up, or up. Brionne is staring straight at my soul. I hate it. I freaking hate it. Brionne pelts its opponents with water balloons in a swift and skillful battle dance. It also tries showing off its dancing abilities when trying to trip its trainer. That's adorable. No. In ancient times, people thought Bronzong was responsible for making the rainfall, so they often asked it for help to make their crops flourish. Bronzong can learn rain dance, so I can see why they did that. In ancient times, people thought a mystical power was contained within Bronzor's back pattern. Artifacts matching its shape have been discovered in tombs from that era, and it doesn't even show us what that image looks like. Bruxish. Don't let the beguiling grin of the brightly colored Bruxish fool you. Those teeth are strong and sharp, and it can wield psychic powers mighty enough to stun an opponent in battle. When the weather turns cold, Buddoo's bud is tightly closed. In the springtime, it opens up again and gives off its pollen, just like humans. If you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm just making a random joke. Anyway, Buizel rapidly spins its two tails to propel itself through the water. The flotation sac around its neck keeps its head up without effort, and it can deflate the sac to dive. No. I want. Bulbasaur. I love Bulbasaur. I have a giant one in my closet somewhere. Bulbasaur likes to take a nap in the sunshine. I don't know why I keep doing this. While it sleeps, the seed on its back catches the rays and uses the energy to grow. You talked about stacks, seeds, and other things like that. And eggs. Don't forget eggs. Buneri. Bunnery. Baneri. Baneri? Is that how you say your name? Okay. Baneri is cute and cuddly, but its ears pack enough punching power to pulverize a boulder. It always keeps one ear rolled up, ready to unleash a punch in response to a surprise attack. Oh, so that's why you do that. Okay. Holy lag spike. It's at 5%. Hold on, we're gonna get to the. Okay, we're gonna get to the C's, and then we'll plug my phone in. There's a charger right behind me here. Bumblebee can use its ears like shovels to dig holes in the ground. Eventually, its ears become strong enough to cut through thick tree roots while it digs. These are all the same Pokemon. It's just Burmy, but in like different forms. So I'm gonna just read off the basic one. Burmy creates a cloak for itself out of whatever materials it can find. The cloak protects it from chilly temperatures and shields. In battle, it's basically just like 3 different versions of Burmy. It's same thing with Wormadam when we get all the way down there. Alright, Butterfree. Butterfree's wings are covered in scales that carry poison. When attacked, it flutters its wings madly to scatter these scales. Its large, compact eyes are formed of many tiny eyes. And finally, our final B, Buzzwole. Buzzwole, one of the mysterious Ultra Beasts, is enormously strong, capable of demolishing heavy machinery with a punch. When it displays its impressive muscles, no one is sure whether it's showing off or just issuing a threat. Would you stop? We're not at Lopunny yet. Shut up. Alright, we're gonna pause here. Let me get my phone. Not my phone. It's right here in front of me. Me and my charger. There should be a plug around here somewhere. If there isn't, then cry about it, everyone, because I have a 6-foot-long charger, and it is not in this room. Hold on, I'm gonna go stay here, please, and stare at this wonderful picture. Hold on, I'm gonna just crab walk over here and just... Hey, stop breaking. Ugh. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. It flipped the page. Yes, I know. I saw it. I see that. I'm just going to put some light here for the sake of ambience. Ambiance. I know it flipped the page. Shut up. Alright, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm just have this like constant green light on me while I just do that. There we go. Alright, let me get my charger. Hold on, everyone. Oh, Lord. Alright, apologies everyone for that short delay. I had to retrieve my backpack from downstairs. I left my charger in here already. Alright. Okay. Ooh. That is extremely painful. Alright. Yoink. Oh, this isn't gonna reach, is it? It's a good thing I have a good old extension cord in the other room. Alright. It's a good thing I have an extension cord, or else I'd be screwed. Ow, that hurt a lot. Alright, let's see. There we go. Just set this down here. Plug it in. Please stay plugged in. Alright, now the question is how do we balance the phone on the charger? Well, it's plugged in now. Move it over a little bit. There we go. No, stop, please. Oh no. This is annoying. This is trusty. Realize this is why I invented this thing in the first place. Oh my gosh, it is. Oh my gosh, it actually works. Okay, an invention of mine actually worked. I'll show it off later. Please stop. Don't move. I'll move back a little bit. Alright. Hello children, welcome back to Alex's Nighttime Reading. Today, we're having a lovely conversation topic about Pokemon. As I was saying, alright, let's keep going. Content. Isn't this content? This is exactly what content should be. Just random things. Alright, Cacnea produce the most beautiful and fragrant flowers. When they live in particularly harsh and dry environments, they can shoot their thorns to attack. Be careful, ladies and gentlemen, those things are dangerous. Cacturn stand very still during the day as to not waste energy or moisture in the heat of the desert sun. After dark, they hunt in packs, often attacking travelers who weren't prepared for the environment. His mic broke. Oh, I thought you were talking about me for a second, like, oh god, wait, did it really? Good old-fashioned reading. Oh yeah. That's the southern way of doing it, you know. Reading. Imagine your phone dies right now while you're trying to get ready. Oh man, I wouldn't be surprised. It's already at 9%. Yeah, this is a supercharger. It's supposed to charge to like 100%, like an hour or something, so fun. When Camerupt gets angry, the volcanic humps on its back tend to erupt. The magma that sprays out is superheated and very dangerous. Carbink, the extreme pressure and temperature of its underground home causes Carbink's body to compact and crystallize. Though it's not a rare Pokemon, the sparkle of its jewel-like body catches the eye. It's made of diamonds, what do you mean? Carnivine wraps itself around in trees and swampy areas. It gives off a sweet aroma that lures others close and then attacks. Catacosta. Catacosta can get around pretty wet on land and is a great swimmer, which gives it an advantage in battles near water. Its heavy shell is made of the same sturdy material as its bones. Carvana. A lone Carvana is a bit of a wimp, but in numbers they're terrifying. Any hint of blood in the water draws them swarming to attack. Each school defends its territory viciously. When Cascoon is ready to evolve, it wraps itself up in silk, which hardens around its body. If something attacks its cocoon, it takes the hit without moving as to not use up energy, but it also remembers the attacker. Okay, vengeful, I guess. When the weather changes, Castform's appearance also changes with it. It's so sensitive to shifts in humidity and temperature that these changes alter the structure of its cells. Caterpie. We love Caterpie. The first Pokemon we ever really saw, wait, no, that was the first, no. First Pokemon we technically saw was Gengar and Blastoise. Thought about that. Caterpie is recommended for trainers just starting their journey. It doesn't require much effort to raise and catch this Pokemon to repel the flying types that like to attack it. However, Caterpie produce a terrible smell from its antennae. It's adorable. Anyway, Celebi. Miss Peggy is right behind you, Carmen. Wait, really? Oh, shoot. Hey, oh, no. Oh, no, my invention fell. Oh, God, that was actually so violent. Guys, I'm so sorry. That was so violent. See, Miss Piggy, what did you do? I have been making content. That seems more sturdy than it was before. Listen, I promise you, The child care you need, the child support I was gonna pay you will be given to you eventually, okay? Just wait a little bit, okay? I I promise I'm gonna give you the money, okay? But remember, you divorced me. I was gonna take the kids, and you said, I want the kids, I want the kids. So you know what? I gave you the damn kids. And now you want me to pay for them. No. I'm gonna see you in court later, loser. Anyway. Celebi traveled back in time to come to this world. According to myth, its presence is a sign of a bright future. Well, this is a bright future, isn't it? Even though Amazon sucks at delivering packages. Sorry. Still a bit jealous about that. Celesteela. Celesteela, one of the mysterious... I'm not even going to say that anymore. Celesteela can shoot incendiary burning gases from its arms, and has been known to burn down wide swaths of trees. In flight can reach impressive speeds because it's a freaking rocket. It's a 30-foot tall rocket that weighs 2,204 pounds and is a living creature. Chandelure. Chandelure's spooky flames can burn the spirit right off someone. If that happens, the spirit becomes trapped in this world, endlessly wandering. That's not fun. I can't do Chansey's voice. It's too late at night. I can do Jigglypuff's voice, though. Read faster, Alex. Chansey. Many of the Pokemon just love Chansey. They're full of nutrients, very tasty. Chansey can move fast, but hard to find to catch one to retreat. Charizard seeks out danger. Some of them during battles, more of the opponents, the fire breath is so hot that it comes out into slag. It has two Mega Evolved forms. Chargebug. When Chargebug breaks down food for injuries, then the injury sword electricity inside the body. Its trainer would like to go camping, would appreciate having this Pokemon's partner. Charmander. The flame of Charmander's tail tip indicates how Pokemon is feeling. It flares up in fear when Charmander is angry. Charmeleon. When Charmeleon takes on powerful opponent's battle, its tail flame glows white hot. Its claws are very sharp. Chatot. Chatot can mimic other Pokemon's cries and even human speech. A group of them will often pick up the same phrase and keep repeating it amongst themselves. Charon keeps its petals folded around itself inside bright sunshine. When the weather is nice, its bloom opens wide to absorb sunshine as possibly can. Pardon. Cherubi stores nutrients in the small red ball attached to its head. When it's ready to evolve, it uses all the nutrients at once, making the small ball wither. When its friends are in trouble, Chestnut uses its body as a shield. Its shell is tough enough to protect it from a powerful explosion. Fun. When Chespin flexes its soft quills, they become tough spikes with sharp, piercing points. It relies on a nut-like shell. Leaf gives off a lovely aroma that calms everyone down. Chimchar's rear end is always on fire, even when it's standing in the rain. If it's not feeling well, the flame flickers weakly. That is unsettling. Oh, that's why it fell. I'm shaking my leg. It looked like there was an earthquake. Like, imagine I'm just shaking my leg and there's like an earthquake. I'm shaking my leg on the floor. How is it? There's an earthquake. Oh no, guys, I can't move. Okay, I'm gonna stop before it actually causes it to fall over again. I don't want that. Chimecho. The sucker on the top of Chimecho's head can attach to a tree branch or building. Its hollow body amplifies its chiming cries. Sorry, I probably should separate that. Chinchou. Long ago, two of Chinchou's fins developed into antennae, which flash brightly to communicate with others, or light its way in the depths of the ocean where it lives. They can also discharge an electric shock, which is why they're electric type. When Shingling hops about, a small orb bounces out round outside of its mouth, producing a noise like the sound of bells. It uses high-pitched sounds to attack its opponent's hearing. A special oil coats Chinchino's soft white fur. This oil repels dust and dirt, deflects enemy attacks, and keeps static electricity at bay. I've gone through this much of the book, and I have to go through this much more. Just so you know what you're staying here for. By the way, if you guys are here, I'm really thankful that you've made it an hour in, almost. Like, I'm barely alive right now as it is. I'm gonna see if I can speed this up, because a lot of the Pokemon, like, there's less and less Pokemon as we go on through the alphabet, because there's not that many Pokemon that have, like, certain letter names, whatever, so it doesn't get that bad. It only gets... It's all downhill from here. In a good way. Clamperl attacks by clamping its opponent tightly between the two sides of its shell. It can hold on like this until the opponent grows tired and gives up. The pearl inside is extremely valuable. Steal its head. Steal its head is what you're going to do. Steal its head. Anyway, Clauncher propels itself by shooting a jet of water from just one of its claws, which gives it an unbalanced, zigzagging swimming path. If a claw becomes injured, it tries to avoid drawing attention to itself because, no fighting. Clawitzer. Clawitzer collects water in its huge right claw, then compresses it at high pressure. As a result, the water jet it shoots is strong enough to slice through solid metal. Claydol has to stay out of the rain to keep itself from melting. It creates a shield of psychic energy to keep water away. Its ancient creators were apparently inspired by an object from the sky. I really need to start setting these streams to be around like 7 or 8 a.m. p.m. because 9 p.m. it's going to be so late by the time I do this. I might start doing them at like 8 p.m. Just give me like an extra hour of time for these. Clefable usually likes to stay hidden, living in the mountains far from people. Tradition holds that anyone who sees two Clefables tipping together along will have a happy marriage. What if you're just two, like it's just you and your best friend, you're just walking through the mountains, you see two Clefables just skipping together? Oh, we're getting married now. Hey! So, Clefairy. Who doesn't love Clefairy? People of all ages think they're adorable, but they can be really hard to find. When they dance under the full moon, a strange magnetic force surrounds the area. We've seen that. We saw that in the Indigo League. Cleffa, who live in the Alola region, are very fond of Minior. When shooting stars straight through the night sky, Cleffa can be found watching intently. With its five-pointed silhouette, it's said to be the rebirth of a star. That's adorable. Cloister. Ancient people use the spikes from cloister shells to make spears. The shell is strong enough to withstand a bomb blast, so what lurks within remains a mystery. Fun. Cobalion. Cobalion. Like its body, Cobalion's heart is tough as steel. Oh, sorry, it's Unova region. Like its body, Cobalion's heart is tough as steel. Legends say that in the past it protected Pokemon from harmful people. There was an earthquake right next to my house. Felt like someone kicking. Nah, I know. That's what you get for living in California. Coffagrigus. Coffagrigus resembles a coffin covered in solid gold. Stories say that when would-be thieves approach, it opens its lid and traps them inside. Combi are always in search of their honey, which they bring to their Vespiquen leader. They cluster together to sleep in a formation that resembles a hive. Clutch up. Combuskin runs through meadows and up mountains to strengthen its legs. It can deliver kicks at high speed with its crushing power. Comfey. It's comfy in here. It's very comfy. Sorry, it's not even a British Pokemon. Comfey collects flowers and attaches them to its vine, where they flourish and release a calming fragrance. Adding these flowers to bathwater makes for a relaxing soak. This book concerns me. Conkeldurr spin their concrete pillars to attack. It's said that long ago, people first learned about concrete from these Pokemon. Corphish. Corphish possesses the fortitude to survive in almost any environment, including Alola. It's likely to thrive even if released by its trainer. The coral branches on Corsola's head are fairly fragile and often snap off, but they're good as new after a few days of regrowth. It sometimes breaks off its own branches to use as a decoy when it's being chased. Cosmoem never moves, radiating a gentle warmth as it develops inside the hard shell that surrounds it. Long ago, people referred to it as the cocoon of the stars, and some still think its origins lie in another world, which it does. Fun fact, in case you didn't know that. Cosmog reportedly came to the Alola region from another world, but its origins are shrouded in mystery. Known as the child of the stars, grows by gathering dust from the atmosphere. Boom. When several cottony gather, they tend to huddle up and cling together in a big puffy cloud of soft, fluffy Pokemon. Such gatherings often leave behind drifts of cottony material that make excellent stuffing for pillows and mattresses. Covered in warm fur, Crabominable evolved from Crabrawler that took their goal of aiming for the top a bit too literally and found themselves at the summit of icy mountains. They can detach their pincers and shoot them at foes. 7:01 p.m. here? Oh, yeah, you're 3 hours behind. It's 10 p.m. right now. Crabrawler is always looking for a fight, and it really hates to lose. Sometimes its pincers come right off because it uses them for punching so much. Fortunately, it can regrow them quickly. Cradilly comes and goes with the waves. It spends most of its life in shallow seas, but emerges onto land when the tide is low enough for it to find food. We're going to speed run through this. Cranidos. Fossilized trees Pokemon half often sometimes found in the same area as Cranidos. Fossils of Pokemon live in the next Aerodactyl. Grown puts up a tough the interest of one of the benches battle. Hazily trees and pure. Also, its face against the benches completely healed. Cresselia. Cresselia. The Gremlin products from Cresselia's wings were still available. The legendary Pokemon happy dreams of the summer of the crescent moon. Croagunk produces its distinctive croaking sound by inflating the poison sacs in its cheeks. This sound often stalls in a Pokemon striking the poisonous jab. Crobat's hind legs evolved into an extra pair of wings, so this Pokemon has a hard time getting around in the air. In the air, though, it's a match of speed and stealth. Each of Croconaut's fangs ends in a barb that resembles a fishhook. When it grips a foe in its fearsome jaws, escape is nearly impossible. Because Crustle carries a heavy slab of rock everywhere it goes, its legs are extremely strong. Battles between them are determined by whose rock bites first. Cryogonal's crystalline structure is made of ice and formed in snow clouds, with its long chains of ice crystals and releases a freezing attack. Even a healthy Cubchoo always has a running nose. It sniffles power, so it's freezing attacks. When Cubone mourns for its lost mother, its loud cries sometimes attract the attention of Mandibuzz, who swoop down to attack. Some think that it's learning to cope with its grief is the only way that Cubone can evolve. Cutiefly can sense the aura of flowers and gauge when they are ready to bloom, so it will always know where to find fresh nectar if you notice a form of these Pokemon falling around in the map of the floral area. Floral aura, sorry. Cyndaquil. The protective flames on Cyndaquil's back are an indicator of its mood. Sputtering fire means it's tired, while anger means the flames burn high and hot. Darkrai defends its territory by sending intruders into a deep sleep, where they are tormented by terrible nightmares. Darmanitan. It's Anne. Fueled by its internal fire, Darmanitan can throw a punch hard enough to destroy a dump truck. To recover from a serious battle, it turns to stone so it can meditate undisturbed. Dartrix is very cautious of its appearance and spends a lot of time keeping its wings clean. It can throw sharp-edged feathers known as blade quills with great accuracy. Darumaka tucks its hands and feet into its body to sleep, but its internal fire still burns at searing temperatures. Long ago, people used this intense body heat to warm themselves. A natural marksman, Dark Decidueye can shoot its arrow quills with astonishing precision. Hitting a tiny target 100 miles away, it tends to be calm and collected, but sometimes panics if it's caught off guard. Dedenne uses its whiskers to sense its environment and to deliver electric shocks. This Pokemon can recharge itself with electricity from a household outlet, which can make for an unpleasant surprise when the power bill comes in. That was funny. Deerling's fur changes with the seasons. Shifts in temperature and humidity affect the color and even the scent of its fur. Dino, spelled D-E-I-N-O, can't see, so they explore their surroundings by biting and crashing into things. Because of this, they are often covered in cuts and scratches. Delcatty lives according to its own whims, eating and sleeping as the mood strikes it. If awakened by another Pokemon, it moves somewhere else to continue its nap. Delibird usually live in very cold climates, but they seem to be fairly tolerant of the tropical heat of Alola. Most of their time is spent trying to build up food supplies that they can share with others. The mystical Delphox uses a flaming branch as a focus for its psychic visions. When it gazes into the fire, it can see the future. This has been going on for over an hour. Yes, it's going to. Miller Clan, it will go on for... Well, we're at the D's now, and I'm speeding through. It's okay. From the crystal on its chest, Deoxys can shoot out laser beams. This highly intelligent Pokemon came into being when a virus mutated during a fall from space. When it's looking for food, Dugong can cut through the water at a steady pace. After a meal, it can pulls itself onto the beach around the rest in the sun. Warming up can help process food. Dewott must undergo disciplined training to master the flowing techniques it uses when wielding its two scallops in battle. Mostly aquatic, Jupiter brings a water bubble helmet along when it ventures onto the land to look for food. The bubble also lends extra power when Jupiter headbutts an opponent. When Delmi swings its mighty anger, even the biggest Pokemon have to watch out. It snags seaweed floating past on the waves and scavenges detritus from the seafloor to add to its body. I have no idea what that is or what that means or how to say it. Dialga. It is said that Dialga can control time with its mighty roar. In ancient times, it was revered as a legend. Diancie, one of my favorite Pokemons, by the way. If you remember my old profile picture on YouTube, it used to have like a list of my top 6 favorite Pokemon, and she was on there. So yeah, that's fun. According to myth, when Carbink suddenly transforms into Diancie, its dazzling appearance is the most beautiful sight in existence. It has the power to compress carbon from the atmosphere, forming diamonds between its hands. I know what strings are, but Alex, good luck, my friend. I'm going to bed soon. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Wink. Diggersby can use their ears like excavators to move around heavy boulders. Construction workers like having them around. To farmers, Diglett can be a blessing or a curse. The soil it lives in becomes rich and fertile. Great for growing crops, but this Pokemon can also be destructive, chewing the roots of those crops. A lowland Diglett. The metal hairs that sprout from the top of Diglett's head can be used to communicate or to sense other surroundings. It can extend these hairs above ground to make sure everything is safe before emerging. Ditto. I love Ditto. Ditto can change its shape and to resemble just about anything, and can sometimes use its talent to be a friend of the Pokemon. Some are more skilled at duplication than others. The Drio has 3 heads, 3 hearts, and 3 sets of lungs. It can keep watch in all directions and run a long way without getting tired. While the Duo's heads asleep, the others stay alert to watch for danger. Its brains are identical. Donphan curls up in a ball to attack with a high-rolling speed tackle. Such an attack can knock down a house. Yeah, the person that is streaming right now does not get to sleep at all. Does not get sleep at all. Oh yeah, fun fact about me, I don't sleep. Like, I sleep maybe an hour for every, like, other day. Maybe. Insomnia. It's not insomnia. Maybe it is insomnia. I'm not really sure. But it's kind of a thing where it's like, I don't want to fall asleep. So I don't fall asleep. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not falling asleep then. So I don't fall asleep. I normally just stay up being productive, working on memes, editing other things like that, coming up with ideas, watching YouTube like you are right now. Ooh, the 2 swords that make up the blade's body fight together in intricate slashing patterns that bewilder even the most accomplished swordsman. Dragalge spews a noxious poison that's corrosive enough to melt solid metal. Despite its intimidating nature, it's a favorite companion of Delmi's. With the crystalline orbs on its body, Dragonair is rumored to be able to change the weather. Because of this, farmers have long regarded this Pokemon with respect. A Dragonite once rescued a man from a shipwreck and flew him off to a Dragonite paradise on a faraway island. This calm and kindly Pokemon is slow to anger, but once roused, its wrath can be incredibly destructive. Even wild Drabon have a real soft spot for kids. What? Though they make their home far away in the mountains, they often come to town to visit and play with the local children. Drapion's strong arms could tear a car into scrap metal. The claws on its arms and tail are extremely toxic. Dratini's existence was mere rumor until a fisherman actually managed to catch one after fighting it for many long hours. My throat's getting dry. It sheds its skin several times as it grows, and the skin is sometimes used in clothing. Okay, Driftblim takes to the sky at dusk. Flying in large groups, they can be hard to track even for a dedicated observer because they sometimes disappear right from people's eyes because they're ghost types. Scary stories are told of children who took hold of Driftbloom's dangling strings and were never seen again. The spirit within its floating body is barely contained. Any puncture could send it spilling out with a ghostly shriek. Ghost types. Julbert bores through the ground by bringing its claws together to form a sharp point, rotating its entire body. In this way, it can travel underground as fast as 30 miles an hour. Drowsy feeds on dreams and has a particular taste for the ones that show the dreamer having a lot of fun. It sometimes shows off its favorite dreams to friends. No, sir. Dredigan searches for food in underground tunnels created by Diglett and Dugtrio. The skin on its face is harder than rock, and so it doesn't hesitate to charge the foes who appear before it in the narrow caves. Good night, Miller Clan. Thank you for joining us. Skilled swimmers, Ducklet dive underwater in search of delicious peat moss. When enemies approach, they kick up water with their wings to cover their retreat. By working together, triplets that make up a Dugtrio can dig 60 miles into the ground. No one knows what this Pokemon's body looks like because only its head show above the dirt. Although Dugtrio's golden hair is shiny and beautiful, people aren't inclined to collect it when it... That scared me. Aren't inclined to collect it when it falls. There are stories that doing so will bring bad luck, and although this Pokemon is thought to represent the spirit of the land, that needs to come back up, please. No! Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, not now. Dunsparce burrows backward into the ground using its tail and threaten, so it's hard to catch, particularly since it views every person who approaches the threat. Diglett sometimes shared Dunsparce's tunnel. Duosion's brain is divided into 2, so sometimes it tries to do 2 different things at the same time. When the brains are thinking together, Duosion's psychic power is at its strongest. The heavily armored Durant work together to keep attackers away from their colony. Durant and Hemor are natural enemies, we know that. There is no escape for anything absorbed in the hollow body of Dusclops. When it waves its hands and focuses its single eye, it can entrance a foe to do its will. Dusk Noir senses signals from the spirit world with the antenna on its head. The signals tell it to guide lost spirits and sometimes people. Parents sometimes threaten misbehaving children with a visit from Dusk Skull. It can pass through walls in pursuit of its target, but gives it the chase at sunrise. City lights attract dust stalks in swarms. This is unfortunate because their wings scatter poisonous dust and their feeding habits quickly strip trees bare. Using a special liquid from its mouth, Webble hollows a rock to use as its shell. It becomes very anxious without a proper rock. Electric wraps its long body around its opponent and gives off a paralyzing electric shock. From the round markings on its side, its appetite is quite large. With their gaping sucker mouths, electrically charged fangs, and long arms that allow them to crawl up on land, Electrocs are dangerous opponents. Eevee. 8 different Pokemon evolved from the amazingly adaptive Eevee. According to its current studies, its unstable genetic structure allows for this incredible diversity and evolution. When it's ready for a meal, Ekans, also known backwards as Snake, can open its mouth extra wide to swallow things that are bigger than itself. Sometimes that trick isn't enough, and if a particularly big bite gets stuck, it can cause Ekans to faint. Electabuzz consumes electricity, but it's not very good at retaining the power within its body. It's constantly leaking electric current. If the power goes out on a calm sunny day, it's probably the fault of Electabuzz. To be fair, I am planning on making gaming videos in the future. I have to get the capture card first, and I'm going to save up money for that. I already have a little bit of money for that kind of thing, but I gotta find the right kind of brand, one that would be compatible and easy kind of just set up, so I could do things like that easily. Besides, I think I still might need a computer anyway, which I'll focus on that later. Okay. When Electivire beats its chest in excitement, it produces a sound like thunder and showers of electric sparks. It can unleash an intense shock by pressing the tips of its 2 tails into its foe. With every step Electrike takes, friction causes static to electricity to build up in its long fur. It runs with the pressed speed, emitting a peculiar crackling sound as the static in its coat discharges. Electrode feeds by absorbing energy, often from power plants or lightning storms. If it eats too much at once, it explodes. An Elekid that lives with its trainer can feed on electricity from the outlets in the house. These Pokemon have developed a rivalry with Togedemaru, who try to siphon off their electricity. LGM, which possesses immense psychic power, is apparently responsible for many stories of alien encounters. With the fiery beard that covers its chin, Emboar can set its fists ablaze and throw flaming punches. Its battle moves are speedy and powerful. When Emolga stretches out its limbs, the membrane connecting them allows it to spread like a cape and allows it to glide through air. With the sharp edges of its wings, Empoleon can slash through drifting ice as it swims faster than a speedboat. People say that Entei came into being when a volcano erupted. This Pokemon carries the heat of magma in its fiery heart. The stolen Shelmet shell protects Escavalier's body like armor. It uses double lances to attack. Espeon doesn't have to see its opponent to sense its movements. Its fine fur picks up even the slightest shift in air currents. Esper emits powerful psychic energy from organs in its ears. It has to fold its ears down to keep the power contained. Excadrill live several hundred feet underground, where they use their strong steel claws to dig out nests and tunnels. Execute is sometimes made up of 6 eggs. They communicate with another using telepathy. I'm sorry. Egg. Stop turning people into egg. Executor's 3 heads all have minds of their own, and every discussion involves a telepathic discussion. Sometimes one of the heads drops into the ground and grows into an Execute. That's terrifying. In the tropical sun and sand, the Alolan Executor is this one now. In the tropical sun and sand, Executor grows exceptionally tall, unlocking draconic powers hidden deep within. When Exploud takes a deep breath through the tubes that cover its body, watch out, it's about to unleash a thunderous bellow that will shake the ground around it. Farfetch'd always carries its trusty plant stalk. Sometimes 2 of them will fight over a superior stalk. It's unclear how long Fearow have been around, but ancient artwork seems to depict this long-beaked Pokemon. Its untiring wings enable it to fly the whole day through. The rather shabby Phoebus won't win any beauty contest, but it's hardly a Pokemon that can live happily even in dirty water. Searing heat radiates from Fennekin's large ears to keep opponents at a distance. It often snacks on twigs to gain energy, like meat. No, no. Feraligatr uses its gaping maw as an intimidation tactic. Its powerful legs propel it into a high-speed charge. Ferocseed use their spikes to cling to cave ceilings and absorb iron. They can also shoot spikes to cover their escape when enemies approach. Ferrothorn swings its spike feelers to attack. It likes to hang from the ceiling of a cave and shower spikes at anyone passing below. With its twin tails, Finneon can leap high out of the water to absorb sunlight, making the pink markings on its body sometimes shine. Flaffy is covered in soft fleece that looks perfect for petting, but watch out, the fleece stores up electricity, and you could get a nasty shock. Flabebe relies on a flower for protection, but it's a bit picky, so it won't stop searching until it finds one with its favorite color and shape. Flareon prefers to roast berries with its fiery breath before showering down. The average temperature of its body is nearly 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, and the sack where it stores its flames is twice as hot. Each Fletchinder guards its own territory and drives intruders away. Flaming embers shoot forth from its beak to attack. Fletchling is generally calm and friendly, an easy partner for a beginning trainer, but when called upon, it battles with a fierce determination. The flotation sac that surrounds its entire body makes Floatzel very good at rescuing people in the water. It can float them to safety like an inflatable raft. Floette is a Floette is a devoted flower gardener, readily lending its own power to make blooming plants even more beautiful, and as their beauty grows, their power grows as well. It uses the blossoms it raises as tools in battle. Florges is content to spend its life among flowers, protecting them and raising them into beautiful specimens. Flygon is rarely seen, but can sometimes be heard in the desert. When it flaps its wings, the vibrations give off a sound like singing. It will often hide in sandstorms to confuse opponents. Fomantis sleeps the day away, basking in the sunlight. The sweet scent it gives off sometimes attracts Cutiefly to its hiding place. Fungus uses its deceptive Pokeball pattern to lure people or Pokemon close. Then it will attack. Getting too close to Forretress triggers its defensive reflex, and it shoots out parts of its steel shell in every direction. It can't control this reaction, so being around it's dangerous. Fracture clash in intense battles over territory. After a battle's over, they'll always remember to sharpen their tusks on smooth stones. Its limbs, which float gracefully in the water like veils, conceal small spikes that secrete a dangerous poison. Frillish often relies on this poison to defeat its enemies. The foamy bubbles that cover Froakie's body protects its sensitive skin from damage. It's always alert to any changes in its environment. Swift and sure, Frogadier coats pebbles in a bubbly foam and then flings them with pinpoint accuracy. Apparently, the first Frostless came into being when a woman was lost while exploring the snowy mountains. The frozen statues that decorate its icy lair may not be statues. Furfru's long, flat, fast-growing fur is easily trimmed into a into a variety of styles, but the Pokemon is picky about who wields the scissors. With its long, thin body and impressive speed, Furret has an evasive edge in battle. It can often wriggle right out of an opponent's grasp. Gabite doesn't shed often, so its cast-off scales are hard to find, but they're a valuable ingredient in medicine. A master of the blade, Gallade battles using the sword-like appendages that extend from its elbows. Galvantula's shock webs crackle with electricity, which shocks anything that blunders into them. Garbodor were once a common sight in Alola, but since Grimer were brought in to deal with a pollution problem, competition for the same food sources reduced their numbers. That's sad. Garchomp could win a race with a jet plane as it zooms through the skies. Some flying Pokemon have learned that colliding with Garchomp and moving at top speed is extremely dangerous. Now for my favorite Pokemon, Gardevoir. And not for the reason you think, you perverts. Not for the reason you think. Fiercely protective of its trainer, Gardevoir can see into the future to detect a threat to that trainer. It responds by unleashing the full strength of its psychic powers. Ghastly likes to lurk in abandoned buildings where its presence sometimes causes strange lights to flicker. This gaseous Pokemon is hard to see, but it gives off a surprisingly delicate, sweet scent. Color variations between Gastrodon from different habitats have intrigued scientists for some time. Research is underway to find out what happens when a blue East Sea Gastrodon is moved to Western Seas. The powerful cannon on Genesec's back is the result of Team Plasma's meddling. This Pokemon is 300 million years old. The sudden onset of an unexplained chill might mean a Gengar is coming toward you. That's the only thing it says. It's concerning. Geodude. It might be tempting to gather up Geodude found alongside the road and throw them around like balls, but that's a bad idea. They're heavy. Alolan Geodude. In the Alola region, Geodude are often naturally magnetic, and their bodies are often covered in iron particles they've picked up while sleeping in the sand. Gibble are drawn to cozy caves that are kept warm by geothermal energy. Even in their warm caves, they tend to huddle together when the outside weather gets too cold. On a clear day, Gigalith, it's raining, Gigalith can absorb sunlight and convert the energy into amazingly powerful blasts. This doesn't work in the rain or the dark. It's raining and it's nighttime. Gigalith is weak. The brain that controls Girafarig secondary head is too small to think, and it just reacts to its surroundings. It tends to attack anyone who approaches from behind. Giratina. As punishment, the legendary Pokemon Giratina was banished to another dimension where everything is distorted and reversed. He looks cool. I love him. Captain Galaxy, you scare me so much, and I don't care. I love it. The Icy Glaceon has amazing control over its body temperature. It can freeze its own fur and then smash into an opponent with the spiky icicles that result. When Glalie breathes icy air from its gaping mouth, it can instantly freeze its opponent. It apparently came into being from a rock on a mountainside, soaking up the despair of a climber lost in the cold. When it's feeling happy and friendly, Glameow purrs winningly and performs a lovely dance with its spiraling tail. Gliding silently through the air, Gligar can strike from above to grab onto an opponent's face with all four of its claws. Gliscor hangs upside down from trees, watching for its chance to attack. At the right moment, it silently swoops and attacks its opponent. Gloom doesn't always smell terrible. When it feels safe and relaxed, its aroma fades. However, its nectar usually carries an awful stench. This perceptive Pokemon can read its rider's feelings by paying attention to their grip on its horns. Go-Go also use their horns in battles for leadership. Golbat's fangs are hollow, which means it allows it to suck up more blood for meals more efficiently. Seeing a school of Goldeen swimming upstream brings joy to anyone who's been pining for the return of spring. People used to think that they could gain mysterious powers by taking the red orb from Golduck's forehead. That's all it says. Golem's annual molt leaves behind a shell that makes for good fertilizer when incorporated into the soil. Alolan Golem, the Rock's Golem virus from its back carry a strong electrical charge, so even a glancing blow can deliver a powerful shock. Ow. Scientists haven't been able to identify the source of Golet's power, even though the Pokemon became active a long time ago. When Golisopod is in battle, its 6 sharp clawed arms are certainly up to the task. Most of the time, it lives in quiet underwater caves. Golurk has worked alongside people since ancient times and is loyal to as a loyal partner to modern-day trainers. Goodra loves to make friends and gets very sad when it's on its own for too long. When bullied, this apparently meek Pokemon goes into attack mode. The slimy membrane that covers Goombi's body provides it with protection, partly by keeping others away because it's really gross. Gorbis's skin contains special cells that change color depending on the water temperature. The warmer the water, the brighter the color. Gothita's wide eyes are always fixed on something. It appears that when they stare like that, they're seeing what others cannot. Gothitelle observes the stars predict the future. It sometimes distorts the air around itself to reveal faraway constellations. Gothorita draw their power from starlight. On starry nights, they can make stones float and control people's movements. I don't know what you know about Pervert. Oh, because people sexualize Gardevoir way too much, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all. During the new moon, the eerie song of the Gorgeist, echoes through town, bringing woe to anyone who hears it. With its massive fangs and strong jaw, Granbull looks like a fierce opponent, but it's a total sweetheart. Graveler can't walk very fast, but when it tucks itself into a ball, it can roll as fast as a car once it gains momentum. Alolan Graveler, the crystals that appear on Graveler's body are the result of consuming Dravite, a particularly tasty mineral. Greninja can compress water into sharp-edged throwing stars. With the grace of a ninja, it slips in and out of sight to attack from the shadows. Most people and Pokemon dislike the industrial waste created by factories, but Grimer happily feasts on the icky slime. Alolan Grimer's appearance in the Alola region developed after it was called to deal with a persistent garbage problem. Grotle leaves the shade of its forest home to soak up sunlight with its shell. It's so good at finding clear water, and smaller Pokemon often bite on its back when they're thirsty. Legends say that Groudon is the land personified. When it channels the full nature of its power, it can expand the landmass with eruptions of magma. This Pokemon often clashes with a Kyogre. Fun. Grovyle can travel so swiftly from branch to branch that it looks like it's flying through the forest. Leaves on its body are excellent camouflage. If you try to pet another trainer's Growlithe, you'll soon discover this Pokemon isn't just cute. It has a fierce territorial side. Grubben have often discovered that sticking close to electric-type Pokemon offers some protection from the flying types that often like to attack them. Grumpig breaks into a strange dance when it's using its black pearls to focus its psychic power. Gulpin's body takes up most of its body. Gulpin's stomach takes up most of its body, so there's not much room for its other organs. Its powerful digestive enzymes make short work of anything it swallows. Gumshoes displays an amazing amount of patience when on a stakeout, when waiting to ambush its prey. Okay, go eat dinner. Captain Galaxy 657. Oh, my pack. Oh, God. Ow. Oh, that hurts so bad. Can I lean back? Oh, yeah. This is perfect right here. This is absolutely perfect. You know, we're gonna move that light slightly, a little bit to the left. There we go. With its strong muscles, Girder can wield its steel beam with ease in battle. It's so sturdy that a whole team of wrestlers could knock it down. Guzzlord, one of the mysterious Ultra Beasts, seemed to have an insatiable appetite for just about anything and everything. It will even swallow buildings and mountains. That's terrifying. Gyarados is extremely and incredibly destructive, and its temper is legendary. That's it. Hawkmowo regularly sheds its scales and grows new ones. Each set of scales is harder and sharper than the ones before it. It leaps at opponents with a battle cry. In the pouch of its belly, Happiny carefully stores a round white stone that resembles an egg. It sometimes offers the stone to people it likes. Hariyama is so strong that a single strike from its open palm can fling a truck into the air. Getting licked by the cold tongue of a haunter is more than simply unpleasant. Such a lick can steal your life energy. Halucha is a skilled fighter and knows it, and this can sometimes get it into trouble. It enjoys showing off during a battle, often striking an intimidating pose. Haxorus can cut through steel with its mighty tusks, which stay sharp no matter what. Its body is heavily armored. Heatmore can control the flame from its mouth like a tongue, and the fire is so hot it can melt through steel. Heatran makes its home in caves carved out by the volcanic eruptions. This legendary Pokemon's feet can dig into rock. Heliolisk generates electricity by spreading its frill out wide to soak up the sun. The frills on Helioptile's head soak up the sun and create electricity. In this way, they can go and get food. Heracross loves to eat sweet nectar, which uses it as energy to clash with Vikavolt, its main rival in the Alola region. Herdior's fur is so dense that it forms a hard protective layer, and it grows all the time. Keeping the fur green can be a challenge, but people find it worth it. Hippopotas lives in a dry environment. Its body gives off sand instead of sweat. Hippowdon stores sand inside its body and expels it through the ports on its sides to create a twisted sandstorm battle. Hitmonchan is the fighting spirit of a world-class boxer. It's extremely driven and never gives up. Hitmonlee can extend its legs like springs to deliver kicks with tremendous force. It's always careful to stretch and loosen up after battle. Hitmon top spinning kicks balance offense and defense. Walking is a less efficient mode of travel for it than spinning. When Ho-Oh's feathers catch the light at different angles, they glow in a rainbow of colors. Legends say these feathers often bring joy to whoever holds one. Honchkrow keeps an army of Murkrow at its beck and call, ruling by intimidation. Beware when approaching a Honedge, those foolish not to wield it like a sword will quickly find themselves wrapped in its blue cloth and drained of energy. According to myth, Hoopa can summon whatever it wants with the power of its 6 rings. Long ago, people looked to Hoot Hoot to tell the time because it moves its head in a precise rhythm and always sounds a cry at the same time of day. Since Hop Hip flows on the wind, it must cluster together with others to withstand strong winds. Otherwise, it might be blown away. Horsey wraps its tail around solid objects on the seafloor to avoid being swept away in a strong current. When threatened, it spits a cloud of ink to cover its escape. If you hear a chorus of terrifying howls in the night, it can be a pack of Houndoom seeking out food. Houndours show extreme loyalty to their trainers or pack, eagerly cooperating as part of their team. Huntail lives so deep in the sea that seeing them wash up on the beach is cause for alarm. They don't swim very well, instead relying on the lure at the end of their tail. The smaller heads on high dragon's arms don't have brains, but they can still eat. Any movement within its line of sight will be greeted with a frightening attack. Hypno's habit of sending everyone it meets to sleep so it can taste their dreams makes it a dangerous Pokemon. But if you're asleep, it can be a big help. Though Igglybuff is a very enthusiastic singer, it is not particularly skilled yet. Its bouncing movement causes it to sweat. Illumise gives off a sweet scent that attracts Volbeat by the dozen. Then it directs the swarm in drawing patterns of light. Training an Incineroar requires patience. If it's not in the right mood, or it shows complete disregard for any orders given. Swift and agile, Infernape puts all four of its limbs to use in its distinctive fighting style. Inkay communicates with its friends by creating light patterns with the spots on its body. The lights also serve to draw foes in and memorize them while Inkay prepares an attack. Carrying the weight of the bud on the back of its back makes Ivysaur's legs stronger. When the bud is close to blooming, the Pokemon spends more time sleeping in the sun. Wild Jangamoo live in remote mountains far away from other people, where they smack their scales together and the mountains ring with metallic sounds. Jellicent can often be seen lurking near cruise ships and following tankers, hoping someone will fall overboard so it can drag them away. Because it can inflate its body like a balloon, Jigglypuff has incredible lung capacity, such as to sustain its mysterious song until everyone falls asleep. According to myth, if you write your wish on one of the notes attached to Jirachi's head, then sing it to it in a pure voice, the Pokemon will awaken from its 1,000-year slumber and grant your wish. When Jolteon's fur bristles up, don't stand too close, it might be about to call down a lightning strike. Joltik can't produce their own electricity, so they attach to larger Pokemon that suck up the static electricity given off. If Jumpluff hits a patch of cold air while shifting on the wind, it will return to the ground to await a warm breeze. Jinx moves with its own swaying rhythm. It's right at home in Alola, where the residents admire its singing voice. Kabuto uses its hard shell to protect itself from attacks. This Pokemon species was plentiful a long time ago, but only a small number exists now. Kabutops is a swift swimmer and expertise undersea hunter, but its body is ill-suited to life on land. When Kadabra is around, its strong psychic powers can sometimes interfere with electronics like computer monitors or televisions. I have to breathe. Oh Lord, I can't breathe. We're halfway there. I'm okay with that. We're halfway there. We're getting somewhere. Kakuna appears motionless from the outside, but inside its shell is busily preparing to evolve. Kangaskhan will risk everything to protect the little one's pouch. If you hear this Pokemon crying, keep an eye out for young Kangaskhan who's on its own. Carablast will often attack Shelmet trying to steal their shells. Kartana, one of the most mysterious Ultra Beasts, can use its entire sharp-edged body as a weapon in battle. Its blade is strong enough to slice right through steel. Kecleon is a master of camouflage, though it gets annoyed if its disguise works too well and nobody notices it. Keldeo travels the world visiting beaches and riverbanks where it can race across the water. Kingdra makes its home so deep in the oceans that nothing else lives there. Some people think its yawn influences the currents. When one Kingler waves to another with its giant claw, sending a message. They can't hold long conversations this way, though. A Kirlia, whose trainer has a positive attitude, develops a shining beauty. When this Pokemon uses its psychic power, strange mirages surround it. Klang's body is made up of one mini year and one bigger year, which change their rotation to communicate with other Klang. If you're constantly losing your keys, a Klefki might be to blame. This Pokemon loves to collect keys and even steals them. The two mini years that make up Klink's body are meant for each other. If they get separated, they won't mess with any other mini year until they find them again. Klink Klang restores energy in its red core, and it charges itself up at spinning that year rapidly. It can shoot the energy from its spikes on its outer ring. The gases that fill Coughing's body are extremely toxic. When it's under attack, it releases poisonous gas from jets on the surface. Kamala never wakes up, ever. Although it sometimes does move around as it sleeps, it leaves in a permanent state of sleep. Long ago, Komodo scales were collected and turned into weapons. For this Pokemon, the scales provide offense, defense, and even a warning system. Krabby dig holes in sandy beaches to make their homes. When the food supply is limited, they sometimes fight over territory. The sound of Cricketot's antennae knocking together resembles the sound of a xylophone. Cricketune composes many different melodies that reflect its emotional state. Researchers are trying to determine whether the patterns of music have a deeper meaning. The membrane that covers Krokorok's eyes keeps sand out and allows them to see even on a dark night. With the strong jaws, Crocodile can clamp onto its opponent. Um, with its sharp eyes, it can spot a potential threat or something it wants to eat from many miles away, even a raging sandstorm. Legends say that Kyogre is the sea personified. When it channels the full power of nature, it can raise sea levels with mighty storms. This Pokemon often clashes with Groudon. When the freezing energy inside Kyurem leaked out, its entire body froze. Legends say it will become whole with the help of a hero who will bring truth or ideals. Lairon lives near tasty, mineral-rich springs where it tempers its body with iron from the water and rocks, so it sometimes goes into conflict with miners. Miners is in miners, not miners is in miners. After going for the same iron ore it uses as a food source, Lampent tends to lurk grimly around for hospitals, waiting for someone to take a bad turn so it can absorb their spirit. Because its arrival helps crops grow, Landorus is welcome as the guardian of the fields. This legendary Pokemon uses the energy of wind and lightning to enrich the soil. With the bright light from its antenna, Lantern can blind and even attack its opponent with electricity before it recovers. Lapras were once nearly wiped out by human activity, but thanks to legal protection, these Pokemon are now safe from that. The flames emitted by Larvesta's horns are so intensely hot, people in ancient times assumed the Pokemon made its home in the sun. Born underground, Larvitar works its way to the surface by tunneling through soil, which it eats as a source of nutrients. Sensitive and intelligent, Latios can pick up on people's emotions and understand what they're saying. Oh, sorry, shaking again. The down that covers its body can refract light to change its appearance. Latios can produce images into someone else's mind to share information. When it folds its forelegs back against its body, it could beat a jet plane in a race throughout the sky. Leafeon doesn't need to eat because it uses photosynthesis to generate energy. A newly evolved Leafeon smells fresh and green. Leavanny loves to make warm clothes for smaller Pokemon, cutting up leaves with its arms and sewing them together with sticky silk from its mouth. Ledian are thought to consume starlight for food, but they're happy to gobble down berries. That's it. Okay. Ladybug prefer to stick together, forming brightly patterned swarms. They communicate through scent, and the aromatic fluid they give off changes according to their emotion. The longest licky tongue ever recorded stretches more than 80 feet. Wow. Hello, Banana Cat. Can you imagine having an 80-foot long tongue for a second? This is like a weird thing to join into, but can you imagine having an 80-foot long tongue? Fair enough. I've been kind of just like speeding through these because it's like 10:40 at night. And I'm barely halfway there. If you don't want to get licked, stay away from Lickitung. It uses its enormous tongue to investigate its surroundings, leaving an unpleasant smelling saliva that can cause a rash. Elegant and swift Liepard can move through the night without a sound. It uses its stealth to execute sneak attacks. Clinging onto an undersea rock, Lily waits patiently for food to drift by. Then it pounces. Some travelers lavish time, attention, and money on Lilligant, attempting to cultivate its lovely flowers, but this Pokemon always blooms most beautifully when it's left alone in the wild. The quiet, well-behaved Lillipup is a popular partner for trainers who live in apartments and have to avoid disturbing their neighbors. Because Linoon can only run in straight lines, curving roads pose quite a navigation problem. It charges ahead at top speed when hunting. As soon as Litleo is able to battle without the help of Sprite, it sets off on its own journey, filled with curiosity about what the future holds. When it grooms its fur, Lit is storing up ammunition. The flaming fur is later coughed up in a fiery attack. Trainers often have a hard time getting the solitary Pokemon to trust them. This is very painful. This is very painful. Litwick pretends to guide people in Pokemon with its light, but following it's a bad idea. It will kill you. That was violent. When the mischievous Lombre spots someone fishing, it swims up to tug on the line. Because Lopunny sheds its plush coat only once a year, people use its fur to craft exceptionally warm scarves and hats. The leaf on Lotad's head is too big and leafy for it to carry on land, so it floats on the surface of water. Loudred shouts at such volume that it temporarily deafens itself. When Lucario evolves, it gains the power not to just sense auras, but to control them. The skill is often used in battle. Ludicolo can't help leaping into a joyful dance when he hears a very festive tune. Lugia can knock down a house with one flutter of its enormously powerful wings. This Pokemon lives at the bottom of the sea. In the depths of the sea, Luminion's body gives off light to attract food, but sometimes bigger Pokemon. Guessing I'm the only one here. No, there's 3 people watching, so you're not the only one here. Um, but sometimes bigger Pokemon are attracted to the light instead, and it finds itself in intense battle. Lunala's wide wings soak up the light, plunging the brightest day in the shadow. This legendary Pokemon apparently makes its way home into another world. People think Lunatone came from space because it was first discovered near a meteorite. It can be difficult to give Lurantis the proper care to keep its coloring bright and vivid, but some trainers enthusiastically accept the challenge. The beam it shoots from its petals can pierce thick metal. If you see many love discs swimming in a hotel pool, it's likely the hotel is popular among couples on honeymoon. A powerful electric current arcs between Luxio's claws, making it a dangerous opponent in battle. Luxray's gleaming golden eyes can see right through solid objects. This is very useful when approaching threats. Lycanroc. Its thick mane conceals sharp rocks that it uses in battle along with its fangs and claws. That's it. Okay, would you guys stop being racist in the chat? That's crazy. Come on now. Machamp really shines when it's called upon to perform feats of strength. With its 4 massive arms, it can even pick up a heavy dump truck. God. Machoke happily pitches in when people need help with a tough physical job. Exercise is Machoke's favorite thing in the world, and its developing muscles reinforce its devotion to working out. Magby thrive in volcanic areas where they can freely... can you stop? Good lord. When they freely spout flames, they can learn to control their flames and use them productively. For instance, one Magby serves as a gentle kill for its trainer. Macargo's body is so hot that it vaporizes any nearby water. When the water turns rainy, Macargo is surrounded by a thick cloud of steam. Magearna was built many centuries ago by human inventors. The rest of this Pokemon's mechanical body is just a vehicle for its true self, the soul heart contained in its chest. Magikarp splash about with abandon, leaping recklessly out of the water, which leaves them open to attack. Taking a hot bath is a great way for some people to recharge. Magmar likes to do that. However, instead of hot water, it's magma. Magmortar can shoot balls of fire out of its arm, although it has to avoid firing several at once. The buildup of such intensity can cause melting. Groups of Magnemite... I had no idea what I just said. Groups of Magnemite can often cluster together around transmission towers to suck up electricity from the power lines. Magneton is formed when 3 Magnemite link their bodies and brains together. Magnezone is thought to receive and transmit signals as it flies through the air with the power of magnetism, although it's unknown where the signals came from. It's reported to be a UFO. Bone crackling is beautiful. Ow. I'm not sleeping tonight. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you, like, all right now, the pain I'm in is... Oh Lord, it's hurting to just sit up like this because I had to face this way because the camera is being weird otherwise. I have to sit like this on the side, not use the chair as a leaning. Ow, because if I don't, I can't see. Makuhita aren't native to the Alola region, but they definitely made a name for themselves in the islands. A master hypnotist, Malamar is popular among disreputable people who seek to take advantage of others. It controls opponents with the rhythmic flashing lights on its body. Mamoswine have been around since the last ice age, but the warmer climate reduced their population. From the earliest days, Manaphy has possessed the power to form close bonds with any Pokemon, no matter what kind. Manabuzz weave bones into their feathers and wear them as jewelry, perhaps in an attempt to show off. According to legend... That's a crazy flag right there. According to legend, Manectric runs as fast as a bolt of lightning, powered by the electricity stored in its muscles. Mankey's rage is so exhausting that it falls asleep. Then it wakes itself up, rampaging to its dreams, and waking up makes it mad. Mantine leaps over waves. Mantine leaping over waves is a common sight on postcards in Alola. Thank you for that. I really didn't need to know that, but I do now. Mantike enjoys the company of people and can often be seen swimming alongside boats. Taurus and Alola love to go swimming with this friendly Pokemon. Maractus live in dry places where they dance with rhythmic movements of their prickly limbs to keep others away. This motion gives off a sound like the shaking of maracas. Moraine lives at the bottom of the sea or along the beach. It attacks with its head spike, which delivers poison that can weaken a foe. It can often be tempted by the brightly colored coral of a Corsola. Boo. Although Mareep looks cuddly, be careful when you pet it. Its fleece is charged with static electricity that can give you a shock. When Meryl drives underwater and starts to plants to eat, its buoyant tail bobs on the surface. Evolution has transformed this formerly weak and frightened Pokemon into a fearsome foe. Marowak uses bones as projectile weapons against those it considers enemies. The Alola Marowak says a flaming bone Marowak spins like a baton once belonged to its mother. Marshadow is a very cautious Pokemon. It sinks into the shadow um, and observes what is going on around it in such a way that no one else will notice it. This may be the reason why it is so rarely seen. When the tide goes out, Marshtomp loves to play in the mud. Its well-deserved hind legs offer stability so it can travel over mud faster than it can swim. The eye patterns on Masquerade's large antennae sometimes scare away foes. Its tiny four wings enable it to dart around in any direction. Don't be fooled by Mawwile's cute appearance. It distracts foes with a smile and then attacks using the massive jaws on the back of its head. Um, that's dangerous. Medicham have developed a sixth sense and psychic powers through long meditation training. Through intense meditation and extreme hunger, Meditite works hard to train its mental powers. Meganium's flower wafts a soothing aroma during a battle. The fragrance grows stronger as this Pokemon attempts to calm its enemies. When Meloetta sings, the voice can control the emotions of people and Pokemon. Meltan's body is made of molten steel. When it finds bits of metal buried in the subsoil, it melts them down and amalgamates the elements into its body. People in ancient times celebrated Melmetal because it could create iron out of thin air. It stayed dormant for 3,000 years before reawakening. In modern times, the reason for their survival is still a mystery. When Meowstic unfolds its ears, the psychic blast created by the eyeball patterns inside can pulverize heavy machinery. Meowth lays about during the day and becomes active at night when it roams city streets looking for coins and other shiny objects. You're halfway there. I just want to die. I'm beyond halfway there now. I'm like 65% of the way there. But it's only getting easier because these Pokemon are, there's not that many. And like, there's a lot of M's. But, you know, we're getting through somewhere. Ow. According to legend, Mesprit brought the first taste of joy and sorrow to people's hearts. It's known as the being of emotion. Metagross is formed when two Metang combined. It is intimidating both physically and mentally. Metang is formed when two Beldum combine. This doubles their power, but does not boost their intelligence. Inside Metapod's hard shell, its body is soft and vulnerable. It does not take care to move around too much or get into serious battles. It is said that Muse cells rest the entirety within Muse cells. It rests the entirety of the Pokemon genetic code. Scientists created Mewtwo by manipulating its genes. If only they could have given it a sense of compassion. As the sun climbs into the sky, Mienfoo gather to train, moving in slow unison as they practice flowing through the battle poses. Mienshao signals its entering the battle with a strange cry, as it wears down its opponent with an onslaught of lightning-fast kicks and arm chops. Mightyena sounds a deep growl before attacking. In the wild, these Pokemon live together in packs. Milotic often sometimes serve as a muse to artists who wish to capture its astounding beauty in their work. The milk that Miltank produces is calorie dense and highly nutritious. Though it's best known for this milk, it can also hold its own in battle. Mime Jr. is constantly working on perfecting its mimicry skills, but it tends to become overly excited when it's doing well. What does Mimikyu really look like? No one really knows, but apparently it's terrifying. It always hides beneath an old rag so it doesn't scare anyone while trying to make friends. I think Emerson was just waiting for me to start the stream. Seemed like he was. Minchino is fussy about keeping its habitat clean. It sweeps away dust and dirt with its fluffy tail, and when its tail gets too dirty for it to taste, it seeks out a clear spring for a very long bath. Minior came into being when tiny particles in the ozone layer underwent mutation. When its shell became too heavy, it falls off to the ground. Minun can shoot out sparks when cheering on its teammates. If the battle isn't going well, the spark showers get more intense. Mischievous gets its energy from scaring and soaking up their fear. Mismagius wields an impressive arsenal of tricks that torment people, launching curses, creating visions of terror, and casting love spells. When Moltres gets hurt, some say it dives into an active volcano and heals itself by bathing in lava. An excellent climber, Monferno can strike from above. It can flare up its tail flame to keep enemies at bay. The spores that Morlul gives off flicker with a hypnotic light that sends viewers to sleep. Mothim loves the taste of Combie's honey. Sometimes it will raid a hive at night to steal the sweet substance. Mr. Mime Mr. Mime often pretends to be trapped behind an invisible wall. It's a common pantomime trick, but Mr. Mime can make those walls real. Mudbraid just loves to get dirty, but it isn't just for fun. Playing in the dirt actually gives it better traction when running. When its hooves are covered in dirt, they're less likely to slip and will run faster. Because its fin is so sensitive to the motion of the air and water, Mudkip knows what's going on nearby without opening its eyes. With the help of the mud that coats its hooves, Mudsteel can deliver heavy kicks powerful enough to demolish a big truck. Mug, mug, mug. Muck really stinks, but some trainers are fond of it. Terrible smell and all. Okay. Muck's bright and colorful markings for the Alolan Muck are a result of the chemical changes in its body caused by the diet of all sorts of garbage. Munchlax has an insatiable appetite and isn't too picky about flavors. To sustain itself, it has to keep eating. It's swallowing just about anything that looks edible. When people in Pokemon sleep, Muna appears to eat their dreams and nightmares. It's unusual to see a Murkrow flying around during the day. They generally sleep until dusk to do their flying at night. The dream mist that rises from Musharna's forehead is influenced by the dreams it eats. It can take on many different colors. Naganadel, one of the mysterious Ultra Beasts, stores a poisonous liquid inside vast quantities inside its body. The poison, which gives off an eerie glow and adheres to anything it touches, can be fired from its needles. Natu's wings are developed enough for flight, but it can jump into the air, which allows it to nibble on buds growing from high branches. Necrozma, some people think that Necrozma arrived from another world many eons ago. When it emerges from its underground slumber, it seems to absorb light for use as energy to power its laser-like blasts. When Nidoking swings its massive tail, it can knock down a radio tower. Nothing can stand in the way of its furious rampage. When defending its quest, Nidoqueen, quest nest, Nidoqueen. What? I'm so lost. Okay. Why did I say quest? Anyway, it hurls its hard scale at the body of an intruder. The impact is often enough to send the enemy flying through the air. Though Nidoran is small, it's quite dangerous. The barbs in its fur and the horn on its head are both extremely poisonous. Nidorina are very social and become nervous on their own. When among friends, their poisonous barbs subtract so they don't hurt anyone. The horn on Nidorino's forehead is made of an extremely hard substance. Nihilego, one of the mysterious Nihilego can apparently infest other beings and incite them to violence. Nincada prefers to stay out of the sun, living underground and feeding on tree roots. Ow. Oh, good grief, the pain. Ninetales is capable of bending fire to its will. It can live for 1,000 years and was created when 9 saints merged into a single being. Alolan Ninetales, in its frosty coat, Ninetales creates ice droplets that can be used to shower over opponents. Ninjask moves so fast it's actually hard to see, although its cry is quite audible. Noctowl can see even through the darkest night, so hiding in the shadows is not an option for an opponent trying to escape. Noibat loves to eat different kinds of fruit, but it's a bit picky about the flavor and texture. Noivern has a reputation for being wild and uncontrollable, but some trainers have found that offering a particularly tasty fruit is a good way to get it on your team. Some trainers bring along a nose pass for navigation on their journey, since its magnetic nose serves as a foolproof compass. The rather dull Numel sometimes doesn't notice when it's being attacked. Its body is full of magma, so Numel takes care to stay calm. Nuzleaf can play the leaf on its head like a flute. Octillery likes to sleep in the dark, isolated caves. When it's disturbed, it sprays a special kind of ink that dulls the opponent's sense of smell. Oddish seeks out fertile ground where it can absorb nutrients from the soil. When it finds the perfect spot, it buries itself. Ammonite's sturdy shell protects it from enemy attacks. This ancient Pokemon was restored from a fossil found at the side of an ocean that no longer exists. Omastar grasps food with its tentacles, leading some to believe it could be a distant ancestor of Octillery. Its heavy, cumbersome shell prevented it from thriving in the ancient past. Thanks to its internal magnet, Onyx never loses its way while boring through the ground. Its body grows smoother with age as the rough edges wear away. Extremely intelligent and somewhat peculiar, A Rangaroo can be a bad fit for trainers who lack experience. My dog is going wild. Oricorio. Drinking the different types of nectars in the Alola region also changes its dance style and type. Interesting. My dog is mentally insane. Oshawott can detach the scallop on its belly and use it as a weapon in battle or as a tool for cutting up food. When Parachute affectionately rub their cheeks together, they're sharing electric energy with each other. It is said Palkia can cause rents and distortions in space. In order to evolve, this Pokemon took control of people playing in the sand to build its boss into a sandcastle. With the vibrations of its head bumps, Palpitoad can make ripples in the water or cause seismic activity. The leaf Pancham holds in its mouth serves no purpose. It's just imitating its hero, Pangoro. Trainers who are beginning their journey could have some trouble handling this Pokemon. The bamboo leaf Pangoro keeps in its mouth helps it keep track of its opponent's movements. Its respect for authority is based on battle prowess. Panpour's head tuft is full of nutrient-rich water. Chewing the leaf from Pansage's head is a known method of stress relief. Pansear prefers to cook its berries rather than eating them raw. Wow, they are really vague with the pans. When Paris eats, it's mostly just the mushrooms that grow on its back. The mushrooms are known as tachukaso, can be picked, dried, and ground into powder for use in medicine. Powder, not power. Parasect is a pawn of the giant mushroom that controls it. The mushroom spores are toxic, but they have medicinal properties for those who are careful enough to harvest them. Passimian are real team players. They learn from each other and work together for the benefit of the group. Each group, composed of about 20 Passimians, has a remarkably strong bond. Wary and cautious, Patrat are very serious about their jobs as lookouts. Ponyard celebrates a victory by clanging its arm blades together, then repeatedly keeping the blades sharp by scraping them against a stone from a riverbed. Young male Pelipper have the task of gathering food while the others guard the nest. With their impressively rooming beaks, they can carry enough food for everyone. It's tough to become friends with this Pokemon. Persian is vain and violent, and anyone who meets its gaze will feel the pain of its sharp claws. Alone in Persian, trainers in Alola adore Persian for its coat, which is very smooth and has a velvety texture. A new symbol for my thing? You mean like a new logo for my YouTube channel? If that's what you're implying, I'm okay. I kind of just like to design my own things, if that's alright with you guys. Petalil benefits from regular pruning. The leaves that sprout from its head can be brewed into a tea that perks up a wary mind. That is, you are hardly enough to drink the incredibly bitter concoction. Vanpiece sucks up water with its long trunk to spray itself for a bath. The eerie cry of a phantom is a reminder of its origin, an old tree stump inhabited by the lost spirit of a lost child. Can't do the clan logo because it's kind of patented already. I can't really change it now. It's patented already. Pheromosa, one of the mysterious Ultra Beasts, seems to be extremely wary of germs and won't touch anything willingly. Fionae gather in large groups as they drift with the current through warm seas. After floating for a time, they always return home no matter how far they have traveled. Pichu is so adorable, but that doesn't mean it's harmless. Its trainer has to watch out because this Pokemon isn't very good at controlling its own electricity. Many trainers are drawn to Pidgeot because of its lovely feathers. Pidgeotto keeps up a steady patrol of the large area it claims as its own. Pidgey's excellent sense of direction, it can always find its way home thanks to its excellent sense of direction. Even wild Pidove are used to having people around. They live in cities and often flock to places where people spend time. Food is fuel for Big Night. That common phrase is a bit more literal. Thank you for that. Pikachu naturally stores up electricity in its body, and it needs to discharge the energy on a regular basis to maintain good health. To take advantage of this, some have suggested creating a Pikachu-fueled power plant. Picky Peck can drill into the side of a tree at the rate of 16 pecks per second. It uses the resulting hole as a place to nest to store berries for both for food and for ammunition. Xbox app shouldn't have had that much of a problem doing it. I'm not sure though. Piloswine's long, thick hair helps protect it from the intense cold of its surroundings. Pineco gets bigger and more durable as it grows, using saliva to adhere tree bark to its body. It hangs motionless from a tree, watching carefully until it sees its favorite food. Though Pincer is incredibly tough, it can't cope with cold weather, so it's right at home in Alola. Hey, you're at home. You're at home. Proud and stubborn Piplup can be quite a challenge to train. It's quite independent, preferring to take care of itself. Plusle can short out the electricity in its body to create a crackling shower of sparks. Poipole is crowned with needles that spray a dangerous poison. This creature lives in another world. When several Politoed gather together to sing under the moon, the angry quality of their cries make it sound like they're having a heated argument. Poliwag's skin is so thick you can see right through it, to the Pokemon spiral-shaped insides. Poliwhirl is amphibious, equally at home on land or in the water. It weighs the options carefully. There's more food to be found on land, but it's going to be, a better chance of being attacked by a wild Pokemon. Kids in Alola often learn to swim by watching a local Poliwrath cut through the waves with a powerful breaststroke. At the beginning of its life, Ponyta's legs are too weak to hold it up. It quickly learns to run by chasing after its elders. Poochyena tries to look bigger than it is by bristling up its tail. Poplio uses the water balloons it blows from its nose as weapons in battle. It's a hard worker and puts in a lot of practice in creating and controlling these balloons. Porygon were created the first time about 20 years ago, and at the time they were made with cutting-edge technology. By converting itself into data, this Pokemon can travel through cyberspace. Porygon 2. Porygon 2 came into being when programmers updated the original Porygon with their latest technology. Their goal was to create new developments on other planets, but it hasn't happened yet. Porygon Z underwent a programming upgrade that was supposed to enable travel between dimensions. Afterward, though, it started to exhibit odd behavior due to an apparent glitch. This Pokemon's singing voice is a delicate and powerful weapon used to attack its foes and control the water balloons it creates. Groups of Primarina teach these battle songs to the next generation. Primeape's rage can be so intense that the wild emotions coursing through its body can put even its own health at risk. Because Prinplup have a strong sense of self-importance, they tend to live alone. Probopass sends forth its small 3 mini-noses in strategic maneuvers to outflank an opponent in battle. The magnetic field that surrounds the Pokemon can disrupt or disable electrical devices in the area. Poor Psyduck suffers from terrible headaches, which somehow enhances its psychic powers. The nocturnal Pumpkaboo tends to get restless as darkness falls. Stories say it serves as a guide for wandering spirits. A rock-solid shell protects Pupitar's body as it impatiently waits to evolve. Purloin acts cute and then innocent to trick people into trusting it. Then it steals their stuff. Purugly wraps its 2 tails around its waist to make itself look bigger. It's been known to kick over other Pokemon out of their comfortable nests and take over. Voice crack. Ablaze with loyalty, Pyroar protects its pride at all costs, even if that means putting itself in harm's way. Mewtwo, it's hard to say, has a remarkable and revolting weapon in battle. It can spew out its innards to strike at its opponent. Yes, Psyduck. Quagsire doesn't exactly hunt for food. It hangs out on the water with its mouth open and waits for something to drift in. To keep opponents from getting too close, Quilava heats up the air around it by flaring the flames on its body. It's extremely nimble and good at dodging. Quilladin often train for battle by charging forcefully into each other. Despite their spiky appearance, they have a gentle nature and don't like confrontation. Quillfish puffs up its body by sucking in water and then using up water pressure to send the poisonous spikes that cover it shooting upward. Raichu can unleash how many bars are there? Okay, there's like some R's, but there's a lot of S's. After we get through R and S, headache, Psyduck! Yeah. R and S are like the last big chunky letters we have to get through, and then we're nearing it, guys. Raichu can release much electricity if you. Yeah. We already said that. Alola Raichu. Its researchers speculate that Raichu looks different in the Alola region because of what it eats. When Raikou roars, the air and land shudder. You have way too much free time. I do. I already did all my homework. I don't have anything to study for. I'm just reading the description of every single Pokemon from the Deluxe Handbook with a Z ring on my ring. On my ring. With a Z ring on my ring. God, you don't understand how tired I am. I'm close. I'm not giving up now because I'm this close. I can't give up now. I'm so close. Ralts. With its horns, Ralts can sense people's emotions. Its own mood tends to reflect what it senses, and is drawn to people with a positive attitude. A headbutt from Rampardos is powerful enough to knock down a tall building. To adapt to this rough treatment, its skull has grown thick and hard. Most of the time, Rapidash travels at a casual canter across the flatlands where it roams. Don't let the insomnia get to you. Oh my word. It's only 11:10. It's not that bad. It could be worse. The webbing on its hind feet make Eradicate a good swimmer. Approach this with caution. This Pokemon has a nasty temper and will bite with little provocation. The insomnia is getting to me. Yeah, Alolan Raticate. Each Raticate leads a group of Rattata, and the groups regularly scuffle over the food. Rattata's teeth keep growing throughout its life, so it has to chew on hard objects to keep them whittled down. They can live happily even in filthy conditions. Good lord, I'm dying. Alolan Rattata. Rattata sleep during the day and spend their nights searching for the best food to bring that back to the Raticate who leads them. What? Legends say the ancient Pokemon Rayquaza I thought it was Rayquaza. It says Rayquaza. Is it Rayquaza? I've been going my entire life for the past decade calling Rayquaza Rayquaza. I'm an idiot. Legends say that the ancient Pokemon Rayquaza flies to the upper atmosphere and feeds on meteoroids. Okay. Created during an ice age, Regice's body is frozen solid, and even lava can't melt it. According to legend, Regigigas built smaller models out of itself out of rock, ice, and magma. It's so enormous, it can tow an entire continent behind it. It can do what now? You can do what now? Regirock's body is made entirely of rocks, and these rocks were recently discovered to be from all around the world. Registeel isn't actually made of steel, it's made of a strange substance harder than any known metal. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that actually. Mr. Beast channel, but there's no reward. Like the best way anyone's ever described this. This is like the first stream I've ever done on YouTube, and it's just like that's like the best comment to describe what these streams are gonna be, because I'm gonna have a stream like this every week. Maybe they're not gonna be Horn of Plenty. Maybe they're not gonna be 2 hours long every time, but that's what this channel's gonna be. Mr. Beast, but no reward. God. Oh, Lord. Alright, Relicanth today look at them much the same as they did 100 million years ago. The abundant fat within their bodies helped them survive the pressure and cold of their deep-sea home. Remoraid often live alongside Mantine, gobbling up the larger Pokemon's leftover food scraps. Legends say Reshiram is drawn to those who value the truth. The flare of its fiery tail can disrupt the atmosphere and cause strange weather patterns. Reuniculates shake hands with each other to create a network between their brains. Working together boosts their psychic power. Rhydon's horn, which it uses as a drill, is hard enough to crush diamonds. Its hide is like armor. It can run right through molten lava without feeling a thing. A charging Rhyhorn is so single-minded that it doesn't even think about anything else until its target's demolished. Rhyperior uses the hold in its hand to bombard its opponents with rocks. Sometimes it even hurls a Geodude. 1,000 pages of Pokemon info stare. Oh, God. How many even pages are there in this book? This book only has... This book has 496 pages. I'm at 357 right now. Like, I'm 140 pages away from being done with this. With how far I've gone through, I'm actually impressed with myself. I never thought I'd actually be able to get through this far. Well, let's continue. Ribombee gathers up pollen and forms it into a variety of puffs with different effects. Some enhance battle skills, and some can be used as supplements. Riolu has a reputation as a hard worker with great stamina. It can sense the auras of others, whether people or Pokemon. Rockruff has a long history of living in harmony with people. This friendly Pokemon is often recommended for trainers who just started their journey. The cavity that takes up much of a Roggenrolla's body is an ear, which allows it to track sounds to the darkness of its underground home. These Pokemon compete with Carbink and Geodude to see who has the hardest surface. Thieves sometimes try to swipe the lovely blossoms Roselia grows. With its beautiful blooms, enticing aroma, and graceful movements, Roserade is quite enchanting. Scientists are conducting ongoing research on Rotom, which shows potential as a power source. During the day, Rowlet, that's not how you say his name, I promise I've never called him that before. Rowlet rests and generates energy via photosynthesis. In the night, it flies silently to sneak up on foes and launch a flurry of kicking attacks. Rufflet hasn't yet learned to control its aggressive impulses and will pick a fight with just about any opponent. Sounds like a lot of people I know at my school. Sableye can often be found pursuing Carbink to satisfy their love of shiny gemstones. In its delight at finally being able to fly, Salamence sometimes gets a little bit rowdy. Its fiery celebration can be hazardous to nearby fields and property. Salandit gives off a toxic gas that causes dizziness and confusion when inhaled. It uses this gas to distract opponents before attacking. Apparently, all Salazzle are female. They tend to attract several male. Oh, good lord. I got a true patriot on my chat here. Apparently, all Salazzle are female. They tend to attract several male Salandit and live together in a group. How does that work? So can male Salandit just not evolve? Huh. I gotta test that now. Because I know that they're only female. Real. I gotta be a patriot, you know? From the armor on its front legs, Samurott can draw its sword like scimitars in a heartbeat. Keep a sharp eye if you're walking throughout the desert. Sandile likes to bury themselves in the sand, where they stay hidden and protected from the sand. You might step on them. Sandshrew often lives in the desert and other dry places, so it's accustomed to life with very little rainfall. Alright. Sandshrew lives high in the snowy mountains of Alola, where it has developed a shell of thick steel. It's very good at sliding across the ice, whether it does so under its own power or a contest. Thank you, Pokemon Handbook, for making me feel useless. The spikes that cover Sandslash are sharp but brittle, easily broken. On impact, fortunately, they grow back very quickly. Alolan Sandslash is covered in spikes of tough steel and lives in the cold mountains. Each spike develops a thick coating of ice. Ice, baby. A child created a mound of sand while playing on the beach, and it became a sandy gas. Putting your hand in its mouth is a sure way to be mind controlled. That's not fun. That's a kink, though. Probably that's probably a kink somewhere. Stalk go deep into the. How to say it? Stalk. Stalk go deep into the mountains to train their fighting skills relentlessly. If they are disturbed during this training, they become very angry. Banam. Alright, as the seasons change, their horns display different kinds of plant growth. Because of their seasonal migration, some people regard Sawsbuck's appearance as a sign of spring. When threatened, Scatterbug protects itself with a cloud of black powder that can paralyze its attacker. My landlord gave me an extra 2 hours of work because I replaced the mouth for... Razor-edged leaves and nutritious seeds sprout from Sceptile's back. It wields the leaves in battle and cares for trees by planting its seeds to enrich the soil. When the hot sun beats down, when the sun really gets fired up. When the battle gets really fired up, Scizor can release heat through its wings to keep its metal body, can you guess it, from melting. The claws near Scoldipede's head can be used to grab, immobilize, and poison its opponent. Scrafty don't venture outside their territory, they stay close to home so they can defend their turf, and their friends, and their families. The saggy skin that covers Scraggy's lower half can be pulled up to its neck as a shield against attacks. Share this live stream with Winnie the Pooh. I'll have to find him somewhere. You know, I don't live that far from the 100-acre woods. We'll go somewhere. Scyther's impressive speed in battle leaves its opponent's head spinning, which gives it an opening to slash in with sharp scythes. I get it. Okay, there's a lot of S's. Hold on. There's like... How many are there? Could be an ending to this somewhere. Oh, only 50 more pages of S's. Oh, Hunger Games is amazing. I don't care what you say, it's amazing. When Seadra spins around the water, it can cause a whirlpool with enough force to capsize a small boat. When autumn arrives, Sea King turns into a deep red, just like the leaves on the trees. Celio learns about the new things by exploring them with its nose. Because Seedot hangs from branches by the top of its head, it looks just like an acorn when it isn't moving. Because it is an acorn. It's just an acorn with legs. Researchers aren't sure why seal have shown up in Alola. They thrive in cold water thanks to a thick layer of blubber. When Seismitoad vibrates the bumps on its hands, its punches get a serious power boost, enough to pulverize a boulder. Sentret always sleep in groups of 2 or more, so one of them can keep watch and alert its friends if danger threatens. A single glare from Superior can stop most opponents in their tracks. Dirt on its leaves blocks its photosynthesis, so Servine is fussy about staying clean. It confounds enemies with quick movements before it strikes with its whip-like vines. The sharp bladedness of Viper's tail gives off a powerful poison. Sewaddle makes... Sewaddle. Okay, I almost said Swaddle. Sewaddle makes clothing for itself by sewing leaves together with the sticky thread it produces from its mouth. Sharpedo can shoot forward at 75 miles an hour when chasing an enemy. The bully of the sea has teeth that are strong enough to crush iron. Okay. Shaman gains the power of flight when the Grastadia flower blooms. Wherever it goes, it clears the errors of toxins and brings feelings of gratitude. Don't your jaws feel tired? Oh, yes, they do. Forget my jaws. I talk a lot anyway, but, I mean... My throat is dry, and it's at the point where it's like, I think I'm going to have like 3 bottles of water just by my bed tonight. Like, oh, Lord, it's going to kill me. We're close, though. We're almost done. I just got to keep pushing through. The pain and suffering. Oh, man, you think... I'm not worried about my jaws. It's my back. My spine is in a constant sitting up position because I can't... My phone is currently charging right now, even though it probably doesn't need to anymore. I mean, I'm not sure it's currently charging, but I have it on like a little setup I have here. So the thing is if I move to face this way, I was talking Charles Wesley, yes, yeah, like that. You know. So if I face this way, you won't be able to see anything. Like I'll like be facing this way, and you're like, oh, that's weird. So I'm kind of just sitting like this because it kind of just makes it seem better. Shedinja is a strange Pokemon. It doesn't move and it doesn't really breathe. No one knows where it came from. Its shell is hollow. Wait, what? Oh. From the outside, Shelgon appears completely motionless as it awaits evolution, but within its shell, it's undergoing rapid changes on a cellular level. Ow. Shelter shells are so tough and sturdy that they've been used to make shields in the past. If the Pokemon would just pull its tongue in, nothing could ever get to it. East Sea Shellos are bright blue, reflecting the color of their ocean home. Sorry, if I ever pause, I'm kind of like trying to read like how to say their name because I always want to know how to say their name. Look quite different from each other because they have the same battle skills and behaviors. West Sea Shellos, they're bright pink instead of bright blue. That's the only difference, and they're in the west. That's not good. That hurts. Shelmet evolves when it's exposed to electricity, but only if Carablast is nearby. Because they're mad at each other. In its own time, this ancient Pokemon lived in the jungle. Many Shieldin fossils have been found, and this heavy armor that is protected this Pokemon's face is generally well preserved. Shiftry makes its home in the tops of ancient trees. Its leafy fans can stir powerful gusts of wind. It's a bad idea to wander in Shinotic's forest home at night. The strange flickering light can cause confused travel can confuse travelers and cause them to lose their way. Reading every Pokemon description, please speed at 80%. Imagine no one had done this before. I mean, I guarantee you it's probably happened at some point, but imagine no one had done this before and, like, Guinness Book of World Records just like, hey, you want a world record? Do you? It's probably been done before. This has probably been done before. I'm not sure though. We'll find out. When Shinx senses danger, its fur gives off a bright flash. This brilliant light blinds its attackers, so Shinx can make a hasty escape. Shroomish live deep in the forest and make their home in moist soil, using rotted plant material as food. Shuckle stores berries in its shell, so it always has a food supply. Shuppet feeds on negative emotions, so having one around to suck up all the bad feelings can be beneficial. Sigilif were appointed to keep watch over an ancient city. Their patrol route never ends. While waiting to evolve, Silcoon wraps its body in silk and attaches itself to a branch. It leaves a tiny hole so we can see. Hold on. Silvally, learning to trust its trainer and cause this Pokemon to evolve and discard the mask to keep its power tightly controlled. Silvally can change its type in battle, making it a formidable opponent. Wow, it's a lot of types. It's every type. Just gotta get the discs for it. Simipour can shoot water out of its tail with such a force that it can punch a hole right through a concrete wall. Simisage's tail is covered in thorns, and it uses the tail like a whip to lash out at opponents. Simisear's head and tail give off embers in the heat of battle or anytime it's excited. Skarmory sheds its sharp-edged feathers as it grows, and warriors evolve to collect them for use as weapons. Calm and gentle, Skidoo have been living side by side with people for the many generations. In mild temperatures, the flower on Skiploom's head begins to bloom. The petals begin to open at just above 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything that moves, including its own tail, draws Skiddy's attention and starts playing a wild, playful game of chase. After burying itself in the sand, Scorpy lurks in hiding. If an intruder gets too close, it latches on with the poisonous claws on its tail. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Talking about Pokemon instead of news? Oh, well, because I want to do different. So I want to do different challenges every week on like a stream or whatever. Just for fun. Eventually, when YouTube. Oh my god, that doesn't work. Eventually, I'm gonna be doing some things where I kind of just like donate money to streamers with 0 viewers, kind of like how Mr. Beast does. I think he did that one time. I'm not sure. Ironically enough, I was gonna like donate money to viewers or whatever, and just have an overall good time, just making people happier. Check the community tab, everyone who's watching. There's always gonna be something there. I usually post there to update you guys on things like that. Polls occasionally, questions about video ideas, all the things. Maybe the average guy who read every Pokemon description offline, but I'm Scout from Team Fortress 2 online. I'm gonna start using that. I need to like save that like my brain. Just like I read this offline, but online I'm Scout from Team Fortress 2. Good lord. Skrelp is a weak swimmer, so it spends much of its time hidden amongst seaweed in an effort to avoid attacks. From the end of its tail, Skuntank can shoot a noxious fluid more than 160 feet, just like those fake water guns that we used to have as kids. Slacking lies in one place and pulls up grass to eat. Circular bare spots in a meadow might be a sign that Slacking lives nearby. It's rare to see a Slackoth move. It's awake for only a few hours per day. Sliggoo doesn't have teeth, so it has to dissolve its food before eating. The mucus it sprays can just cause about anything to melt. Thanks to Shelder's poisonous bite, Slowbro has grown even more scatterbrained, content to stare at the sea and let its mind wander. When Slowking was bit on the head, the poisons that were released interacted with its brain in a mysterious way. If Slowpoke's tail breaks off as it goes about its business, it probably won't even notice. And the new one will go quickly, and you can eat the old tail. Ugh. The magma that circulates within Slugma's body serves as his blood, supplying its organs with oxygen and nutrients. Pastry chefs love having a slurpluff in the kitchen. With its incredibly sensitive nose, it can tell exactly when a dessert is baked to perfection. Smeargle's tail tip produces a fluid that is like paint. It literally marks its territory using many different symbols, not signals. Smoochum's lips are filled with highly sensitive touch receptors, so it uses them to inspect unfamiliar objects. Pokemon knew what they were doing with that one. Sneasel has a reputation as a crafty, vicious egg thief. It lies in wait until nest is left unguarded. Soaking up sunlight with its tail increases Snivy's speed. Though it has hands, it generally uses the vines that extend from its neck instead. The stomach of a Snorlax can hold just about anything, which is fortunate because, it requires 900 pounds of food a day. If a Snorlax comes to visit, don't shoot away. According to tradition, having a Snorlax living in your house guarantees prosperity for many years. Ancient people were weird in the Pokemon universe. I'm telling you what, man. People were on some crack. How many pages we got more of the S's before we have to get down to the T's? We're so close. Page 425. 20 more pages, guys. Come on. 20 more pages until we get to the end of the S's. And then it's all downhill from there. It's all downhill. Very close. Snover live in the mountains live high in the mountains most of the year, but in the winter they migrate to lower elevations. Snubble might look scary, but it's a big wimp. Often too cowardly or too lazy to pick up a fight. Solgaleo's entire body radiates a bright light that can wipe away the darkness of night. Wait, what? Donald Trump plays TF to his demo man and says, "Holy crap, guys, this game has Obama." I love the Team Fortress 2 memes. I'm telling you what, Gen Alpha will never know the joy, the fine art that is TF2 memes. They will never know. They will never know that. And that brings a tear to my heart. I can't believe it. It just hurts, The heavy dead. The heavy is dead. Oh, no. Who killed Heavy? You're dead. The special liquid that surrounds Solosis protects it from any harsh conditions. When Solrock spins, it gives off heat and light. It uses sunlight for energy and can pick up on others' emotions. Spearow's wings are too short for effective flying, so they stay on the ground and move around with rapid hops. Like Scatterbug, Spupa releases a protective cloud of powder when attacked. It can also bristle up its thick fur and attempt to scare off any aggressors. I did it like this. Whoop-de-doo. Spheal can roll across the ice faster than it can walk. When it's happy, it bursts into applause by clapping its fins together. The thread Spinnerack uses to spin its web is so sturdy that they are sometimes used to reinforce fishing nets. As Spinda staggers and totters about, it has the mistaken impression that it's walking straight. Long ago, Spiritomb was bound to an odd keystone as punishment for bad behavior. The constant bouncing motion... That's a joke, lads. The constant bouncing motion of Spoink's springy tail regulates its heartbeat. It's always looking for a bigger pearl in its head. Long ago, this Pokemon was popular among the nobility for its lovely scent. Instead of spraying perfume, ladies would keep a spritzy close in hand. That's disgusting. With its aerodynamic shape and groove surface, Squirtle's shell helps it cut through the water very quickly. It also offers protection. Trunking Scottish Cyclops noises. It's a great way to describe that sound. You just I don't even know. How do you even make... I've tried imitating that sound before, and it's like, how do you even make that sound? What? It's thought that Stakataka, one of the mysterious Ultra Beasts, is made up of several life forms stacked on top of each other. What a name. Stakataka, and you're stacked on top of it. The intricately curved antlers that grow from Stantler's head have been regarded as priceless works of art. After evolving, Staraptor goes off on their own, leaving their flocks behind. Staravia can travel in large flocks and be very territorial, and huge flocks of starly gather in heat fields and mountains in such large numbers their wings flap with impressive power. Getting close to a starmie could give you a headache, possibly because of the mysterious signals transmitted by its glowing core. A cluster of red lights glowing on the beach at night is probably a Staryu colony. Steelix lives deep underground and it can tunnel straight down more than half a mile below the surface. Lively and cheerful, Steenie often attracts a crowd of other Pokemon drawn to its energy and has a lovely scent. Stoutland's bravery and intelligence makes it an excellent partner. Many trainers put their trust in this Pokemon to help rescue explorers stranded in the mountains or to keep an eye on the kids. You know, petting an unfamiliar Stuffle is a bad idea. Even though it's really cute, it dislikes being touched by anyone it doesn't consider a friend. Stunfisk buries its flat body in the mud, so it's really hard to see and gets stepped on. And when you step on it, you get zapped. It's zip-zap. The terrible smelling fluid that Stunky sprays from its rear can keep others far away from it for a whole day. Sudowoodo may look like a tree, but if you water it, it will run away. This Pokemon is favored by elderly trainers and is sometimes sought after by collectors. Suicune can clear pollution from lakes and rivers. This Pokemon's heart is as pure as clear water. Sunflora soaks up the sun's rays and transforms that energy into nutrients. It's very active during the warmth of the day, but when sunset arrives, it stops moving. Sunkern doesn't consume food but lives entirely on dewdrops. That is really, really sad. When threatened, Surskit produces a fluid on the point of its head. The fluid tastes very unpleasant to flying Pokemon. They stay away from it. Swablu uses its cottoning... My throat is dying inside. I can't... My throat is dying inside. I can't breathe. Swablu uses its cottony wings to polish everything around it, also like to land on people's heads. So a woman walking down the sidewalk can suddenly discover she's wearing a fluffy Swablu hat. That's adorable. I want a Swablu hat. When many Swadloon live in a forest, the plants grow strong and healthy. These Pokemon eat fallen leaves that give off nutrients that enrich the soil. Swalot's mouth can open wide enough to swallow a car tire easily. Swampert can tell when a storm is coming by shifts in the winds and waves. It's strong enough to drag and lift heavy boulders. In the evening, a flock of Swanna performs an elegant dance around its leader. Their exceptional stamina and wing strength allow them to fly thousands of miles at a time. Soaring gracefully through the sky, Swallow will go into a steep dive if it spots food on the ground. Swinub keeps its nose to the ground in search of food. Its favorite thing to eat is a certain kind of mushroom found underneath the grass. Swirlix loves to snack on sweets. Its sugary eating habits have made its white fur sweet and sticky, just like cotton candy. Well, that was... off to hang myself. When a male swoobat is trying to impress a female, it gives off ultrasonic waves that puts everyone in a good mood. Under other circumstances, swoobats' waves can pulverize concrete. Sylveon projects a calming aura from its feeders. It sometimes uses this aura in battle to trick its opponents into dropping their defenses. Though Taylor was fierce and courageous in battle, even against stronger foes, hunger or loneliness sometimes makes it cry. Talonflame can swoop at incredible speeds when attacking, which enhances the already impressive power of its kick. If grabbed by an attacker, Tangela can break away and leave the foe within a handful of vines. During warmer times of the year, Tangrowth's vines grow so rapidly that they cover his eyes. Tapu Bulu has a reputation for laziness. Rather than battling directly, it commands vines to pin down its foes. Tapu Fini can control and cleanse water, washing away impurities. Somewhat lacking in attention span, Tapu Koko is quick to anger, but just as quickly forgets why it's angry. And Tapu Lele flutters through the air. People in search of good health gather up the glowing scales that fall from its body. Although Tauros in other regions are known for their fierce love of battle, Alola region Tauros are actually calm enough that people can ride them without fear. Ow. Teddiursa changes the flavor of its honey-soaked paws by incorporating different kinds of berries and pollen. If you find a dried-out tentacle on the beach, you can try soaking it in water to restore to good health. Tentacruel starts out with 80 tentacles, all packed with a nasty poison. As it grows older, some of the tentacles are damaged and broken off in battle. When many Tentacruel gather, other Pokemon flee the area. Tepig uses the fireballs from its nose in battle, and in cooking, it likes to roast berries rather than eating them raw, just like literally every fire type. Legends tell of a time when Terrakion attacked a mighty castle to protect its Pokemon friends. They say it knocked down a giant wall with the force of its charge. Throw make belts. I hate the fact that they use Pokemon as like a plural and a singular now. It's so confusing with sentences sometimes. Throw make belts for themselves out of vines and pull those belts tight to power the muscles. Thunderous can discharge powerful electric bolts from the spikes on its tail. This legendary Pokemon causes terrible lightning storms. Timber always carries a wooden beam, which it trades for bigger ones as it grows. These Pokemon can be a big help to construction workers. Studies of Tortuga's fossilized skeleton indicate that it can reach depths of half a mile when diving. Its back is covered with a long spiny fur that usually lies flat. Togedemaru can wriggle up the fur during battle for use as a weapon. Togekiss flies around the world to seek out. I've never played Pokemon before. Great set of games. I don't care for the new ones as much, but the old ones for like the 3DS, Sword and Shield was okay, but the ones for like the 3DS, those were the good old days. I kind of just rewatch the old shows and play every game before Sword and Shield now. After like the 7th generation or 8th generation, whatever the generation was, I just kind of was like, yeah, I don't like the way they went with this. So I kind of just stopped. My mom never bought me a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy when I was like 5 years old, and that's when I first got into it. Somewhere around that time. And then I got a 3DS that I had for 11 years, and then I replaced it with another one that is apparently worth. The 3DS I got then was a limited edition one. So right now I repaired it recently, and it's in like almost perfect condition, and is apparently worth $799. That's always cool. But I'm never going to sell it because that thing is a priceless treasure to me. So, Pokemon Go, War 4, and got bored of it. Oh yeah, Pokemon Go it was fun back then, but that was when everyone played it. Now it's just like, oh, I don't want to play it. So, I don't blame you guys, really. Togepi soaks up good vibes from other beings for use as energy. Its shell is filled with happy feelings and warm fuzzies. Widely regarded as a bringer of good luck, Togetic seeks out people with pure hearts. Torchic's internal fire and soft feathers make it a perfect cuddle buddy. Really? My parents still play it. Impressive. I don't. Because wild Torkoal get their energy by burning coal within their shells, they tend to live near large coal deposits in the mountains. Wrapped in its cloud, the Tornadus flies at 200 miles an hour. The legendary Pokemon causes fierce windstorms with gales that can knock down houses. Torracat attacks with powerful punches from its front legs, which are strong enough to bend iron. There's enough room on Torterra's back for several small Pokemon to make their nests. Be careful around a playful Totodile. It tends to nibble on friends as a sign of affection, but its jaws are strong enough to cause serious harm. In the inside of a toucan's beak gets very hot during battle over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat also fuels its explosive seed shooting and can cause serious burns. It's a good thing Toxapex lives at the bottom of the ocean because its poison is very dangerous. Toxicroak's dangerous poison is stored in its throat sac and delivered through the claws on its knuckles. I'm really close. I am so close. I have like 20 pages left until I'm done. And it will only have taken me 3 hours. I've been sitting here for 3 hours. That's eye-opening. Huh. Tranquil can always find its way back home, whether to its nest deep inside the forest or to its trainer's side. It's said that these Pokemon nest together. Peace surrounds the area when they do that. Trapinch's huge jaws can easily crush rocks while it's digging through the sand to create its nest. Its Pokemon waits for something edible to fall into its nest. The tiny hooks on Trico's feet allow it to climb straight up walls. With its calm attitude, it stands up to bigger opponents. Trevenant serves as a guardian to its forest home and protects anyone and anything who lives there. Ranchers who live in warm tropical areas often raise Tropia so they can harvest the sweet fruit that grows around their necks. In Alola, the fruit is extra delicious. When I was your age, I played Minesweeper, but in real life, my friends. I think I've only played Minesweeper like 3 times. That's how long it's been. Not sure how I feel about that. Anyway. When Trubbish encounters tasty trash, it will munch until it's completely full, and the gases it gives off afterward can be toxic. In Alola, Trubbish and Grimer often battle over sources of delicious garbage. Trumbeak stores berry seeds in its beak to use as ammunition. It attacks opponents with a rapid-fire burst of seeds. Beauty salons sometimes use images of the lovely Zarina in their advertising. It can be a fierce fighter, using its long legs to deliver skillful kicks. One of them lost. Okay. Poisonous gases and flames spew. Um, it is a rage game. It is a rage game. Galaxy. It is a very much rage game. Poisonous gases and flames spew from Turtonator's nostrils. Its shell is made of unstable material that might explode upon impact, so opponents are advised to aim for its stomach instead. Turtwig's shell is made from soil, and its whole body can produce energy via photosynthesis. Timpole creates sound waves with the vibrations of its cheeks. A single dynamo can't generate much power, but when several of them join forces, they can unleash an electric shock with the force of lightning strike. The heat shimmer given off by Typhlosion's flames serve to conceal the Pokemon's movements. The synthetic Pokemon known as Type Null wears a heavy mask in order to keep its power in check. Some fear that without the mask, it would go on a destructive rampage. Tyranitar doesn't waste any time challenging weak opponents. It possesses enough power to obliterate mountains, so consider the bright side if you encounter one and it ignores you. Um, because fossil restoration is not a perfect science, some researchers have speculated that Tyrantrum, who lived in ancient times, were covered in feathers. In the modern world, this restored Pokemon can crush a car in its jaws. Training and working out every day is a must for keeping Tyrogue's stress levels under control. Its amazing jaw strength and its lack of concern for others make it a dangerous combination. Tyrunt has been known to injure its companions while trying to be playful. Um, Umbreon's black fur makes it well suited for battles in the dark. It can rely on camouflage to keep it hidden until it's ready to strike. Unpheasant has a prickly personality and rarely bonds with anyone other than its trainer. That's it. Unknown can be found in many different shapes that resemble ancient writing. It's not known which came first. Ursaring makes daily rounds through the forest where it lives, climbing high into the trees and splashing through the streams to find food. They never know. It was claimed to be a kidnapper missing, but they don't know longer than you think. Gives alt account 7,000 because I find the body. Give me the good stuff. Y'all are just going crazy. I'll tell you what. According to legend, Yuxi brought the gift of intelligence to humankind. Vanillish can control ice particles to surround its opponents and freeze them solid. In hot weather, its icy body is in danger of melting. Vanillite is particularly popular in Alola and other warm places because hugging this icy Pokemon is a lovely way to cool off. Vanillux has two heads, each with a mind of its own, and when they can't decide to work together, this Pokemon can create impressive blizzards with the snow clouds that it creates from inside its body. Vaporeon lives near water, and some who see it wandering the shore think it's a mermaid. When submerged, its camouflage is perfect. Venipede uses the feelers at both ends of its body to explore its surroundings. It's extremely aggressive and its bite is poisonous. When they become active after dark, Venomoth are often drawn to street lamps. It isn't the light that attracts them, but the promise of food. Venonat's large, sensitive eyes pick up even the tiniest movement. The stiff hair that protects its body protects it from harm. When Venusaur is well nourished and spends enough time in the sun, the flower on its back is brightly colored. Vespiquen controls the colony that lives in its honeycomb body by releasing pheromones. Vibrava has to eat a lot of fuel to the growth of its has to eat a lot of fuel the growth of its underdeveloped wings. Instead of flying, it vibrates its wings together, creating ultrasonic waves that it uses in battle. According to myth, Victini can bring victory in any kind of competition. Okay. Victory Bell uses its long vine like a fishing lure, swishing it and flicking it to draw prey closer to its gaping mouth. Have I ever watched Nemesis Blue? No. But have heard many good things about it. I want to watch it. But I haven't yet. I need to put that on like a to-do list or something. Vigoroth can't sit still. If it spends too much time inactive, it gets stressed out and goes on a rampage. Vikavolt uses its large jaws to focus the electricity it produces inside its body, and then unleashes a powerful zap on its opponents. Many people are terribly allergic to the poisonous pollen the wild bloom gives off. The petals of its flower are truly enormous. According to legend, Virizion can move so swiftly that its opponents are left bewildered. Its horns are lovely and graceful, and as sharp as blades. The colorful patterns in Vivion's wings are determined by the Pokemon's habitat. Vivian from different parts of the world have different wing patterns. When night falls, Volbeat flashes the light on its tail into different patterns. This sends messages to others. The mythical Pokemon Volcanion lives in the mountains and stays far away from humans. The arms on its back can shoot out steam with incredibly destructive force. Ancient people held fearful respect for Volcarona, whose flaming scales reminded them of a raging sun. Voltorb looks like a Pokeball, and it was first spotted at a Pokeball factory. What's the connection? No one knows. The what made a full explanation about it and got addicted to heroin. I am lost in the conversation right now. Voliboi wears bones around its lower half as a shield and replaces the bones as it outgrows them. Its wings aren't yet big enough to carry through the air. Vulpix is prized for its lovely fur and multiple tails, which keep splitting as it grows. Vulpix in the Alola region were once known as Kyo, and some older folks still use that name. Its 6 tails can create a spray of ice crystals to cool itself off when it gets too hot. When Wailmer is feeling playful, it inflates its round body by sucking in seawater, then bouncing joyfully around. Wailords swim with their mouths open to gather food. In some places, pods of these enormous Pokemon become a tourist attraction of others. Walrei's giant tusks are capable of smashing through icebergs. Its thick blubber keeps it warm in frigid seas and is great for fending off hits in battle. The fur on Wartortle's tail darkens with age. Its shell bears the scratches of many battles. Watchhog can make its stripes and eyes glow in the dark. Its tail stands straight up to alert others when it spots an intruder. In the cold places where they live, Weavile communicate with others in their group by carving up rocks and trees with their sharp claws. Weedle's sense of smell is excellent. With its large red nose, it can sniff out the leaves it likes best. The hooked stem behind its head lets Weepinbell hang from a tree branch to sleep. Sometimes it falls to the ground during the night. Rotting food gives off a noxious gas that attracts wheezing. Its twin bodies take turn inflating and deflating to keep its poisonous gases churning. Whimsicott is so light and fluffy that it drifts on the wind. The cotton that covers its body is easily shed, whether Whimsicott is making a mess in someone's home or being blown about by a strong wind. It is 11:48. Good lord. Covered in a sturdy shell, Whirlipede doesn't move much unless it's attacked. Then it leaps into action, spinning it at a high velocity and smashing into the attacker. Whiscash lives in the swamp where it rests on the murky bottom of the time, waiting for food to float by. When Whismur isn't in trouble, the noises it makes are very quiet. When the weather gets warm, Wigglytuff shed their fur, which can be spun into delightfully soft yarn. As these Pokemon breathe in, their bodies expand to hold more air. When the cowardly Wimpod flees from battle, it leaves a path swept clean by the passing of its many legs. It helps keep the beaches and seabeds clean too. What time is it for you right now? Because for me, it's for me it's almost 12 a.m. I have no idea where you are, but hey, wherever you are, welcome. I should have said that a while ago. Wingle's bones are hollow, allowing it to soar effortlessly. If several Wingle are circling in one spot above the sea, fishermen take note and cast their lines in. If a wishy-washy looks like it's about to cry, watch out. The light that shines from its watering eyes draws the entire school, and they band together to fight off their opponent by strength of sheer numbers. Are you an hour ahead of me? An hour ahead of me. Okay, that sounds right. Relying on its powers of endurance, Wobbuffet prefers not to attack unless a foe goes after its tail, then it unleashes a powerful counter-strike. When Woobat attaches itself to something, it leaves a heart-shaped mark with its nose. Though Whooper usually live in the water, they sometimes come ashore to look for food. To protect their bodies, they cover themselves with a sticky substance that is poisonous to the touch. So the cloak it wore as Burmy becomes a permanent part of Wormadam's body. Its appearance is determined by its surroundings at the time of evolution. It's in the morning. Okay, so that was really, really, really bad. Okay, so he probably lives somewhere in the middle U.S., like kind of middle west U.S., somewhere around there. I'm just guessing. I don't know. With the stripes on his tail, Wormbull stripes away tree bark to get at the delicious sap underneath. The spikes also come in handy when fending off an attacker. If a Wynot is smacking its tail against the ground, that means it's angry, regardless of the big smile on its face. Apparently, Zatu can see into the future, but it just lacks the power, or maybe the will, to change anything. Xerneas' horns shine all the colors of the rainbow. It is said that this Pokemon can share the gift of endless life. Zergatry invaded an electric plant after an emergent ultra wormhole. Some suspect it absorbs electricity from its body to power the serious shocks it gives off. The mask that Yamask carries is said to represent its face from a former life. With its compound eyes, Yanma can see in every direction without moving its head. It can make quick stops and turns during flight. With 4 wings on its back and 2 more on its tail to keep it balanced, Yanmega is capable of extremely high-speed flight. Young Goose is always on the move during the day, looking for food and not too picky about what to eat with its sharp teeth. When Yveltal spreads its dark wings, its feathers give off a red glow. It is said this legendary Pokemon can absorb the life energy of others. Zangoose slashes at opponents with its sharp claws extended. These Pokemon constantly fuel the Viper. When Zapdos is hit by a bolt of lightning, its power increases. This legendary Pokemon can bend electricity to its will. A herd of Zebstrika running at top speed gives off a noise like thunder. Legends say Zekrom helps those who pursue their ideals. It surrounds itself with thunderclouds to travel unseen, and its tail can generate electricity. In battle, Zeraora charges its claws with electricity. Even an opponent who manages to dodge the lightning quick approach of those sharp claws can't avoid getting zapped when the sparks go flying. Zigzagoon's curiosity drives it to wander constantly and restlessly. It rubs the sturdy bristles on its back against trees and marks territory. Unwary explorers who come close to Zoroark's den might find themselves wandering the forest aimlessly, distracted and led astray by the illusions this Pokemon spins to protect its lair. When Zorua is among strangers, it tends to stay camouflaged like behind a shield of illusion. It can even make itself look like other Pokemon. Being in the sun isn't healthy for Zubat. I can be in the most populated place. I can be in a different country. I can be inside your home. No. 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 Being in the sun isn't healthy for Zubat, so it spends the day sleeping in caves. Since it doesn't have eyes, it uses ultrasonic waves to detect its surroundings. Zweilous has a ravenous appetite and exhausts the local food supply before moving on. Guys, it's the last page. It's the last. I stole them. Thank you. I appreciate that. I worked hard on it. I'm on the last page. It has taken me 3 hours to do this. I have sat here and suffered. And I'm finally going to finish and do what I set out to do. I promised I was going to do it, and I did it. The final Pokemon. Zygarde. When Zygarde senses extreme danger to the ecosystem, it gathers all of its cells and takes on this titanic form. This form has the power to bring order when life and destruction become unbalanced. And that, my friends, is the Super Deluxe Essential Handbook for Pokemon. Oh god, I'm done. Good night. I'm sleeping. That was incredibly painful. You made it. I made it. I did it. You were here, Captain Galaxy. You were here from the very beginning, kind of. What? Clap, clap. Love you, man. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you hanging around. And thank you all for being such a Chad and staying here. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna leave that alone now. I appreciate all y'all's support. I am dying. Shout out to the bus who got me through. Can we really take the moment to appreciate the bus that got him to my house? I mean, come on. We gotta give like a shout out to him. I gotta give the shout out to the bus. I mean, you know, the bus driver just, oh man, we can't forget. I read this entire book. God, so tired. I've been doing this since 9 p.m. and it's 4 minutes till 12 a.m. God. Oh God, it hurts. My spine. I'm gonna go take a well-deserved sleep, even though I have to wake up in 6 hours. Nice house though, better than where I live. Thank you. This is um the result of much hard work from my family. I'm honestly very thankful for them. We used to live in a smaller house, but you know, ow, we saved up and better job opportunities came up and stuff like that. And you know, I'm really thankful for this house. It's really good. It's really nice. It's fun to live in. It's 2 stories. I live on the upstairs floor alone, pretty much at this point. But you know, it's fun. It's really cool. And I'm an only child as well, so I don't have to share. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be posting the next community post. Um, we'll do we'll do tomorrow. I'm gonna post the next poll tomorrow for the voting for different challenges that I'll do again for this slash next week. This was supposed to be the challenge like last week, but you know Amazon takes their time, and I'm never doing Amazon again. So or whatever. Point is yeah, keep a lookout for the community tabs, I guess. But thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I'm going to let it run until 12 a.m. and then I'm gonna end it because we gotta have a perfect 3 hours. So I really do appreciate everything you guys have done just by being here. I mean, I really appreciate not doing this for myself and for doing it for you guys. We did it. I read this book. I can flex this to my friends now. I'm going to. I'm going to shove this in my face. Like, hey, you see this thick book? I read this for 3 hours straight. I read it completely without stopping. Without stopping. And I have video proof of it. Is it nighttime for you? Yeah, it's 12 at night right now. It's 2 minutes till 12 a.m. So yeah, it's nighttime. So, oh Lord, have to figure out another way to really do these challenges. So, oh my Lord Jesus. Fix that. Yeah, I fixed it. There we go. Your eye bags have eye bags. Oh yes, they do. Yes, they most certainly. I fixed it. Finally. So, yes, my eye bags most certainly do have eye bags. I'm dead. I have another 55 seconds. Or do I? I have no idea. The time might be wrong. We'll see. God, I can't keep a straight face. I'm so tired. I've suffered through a lot tonight. So glad I didn't do this yesterday when I was going to, because I had a history test today, and I was good. I liked it. It was fun, and easy. But I mean, imagine I did this last night. Oh man, I would be so dead inside. What's that dinosaur behind you? Oh, so my room, every room in my house, my family and I are like really big. We love different like movies and like you know we're pop culture people, you know. And so my parents' room is Harry Potter themed, like heavily. My living room upstairs here is Star Wars themed. This room is supposed to be Jurassic Park themed, but I've kind of just mixed up a whole bunch of stuff that I like. So Jurassic Park is everywhere. There's behind me. There's actually, hold on, let me go and show you. Behind me, there's actually a massive poster. Like this thing is like 6 feet tall, of Blue from Jurassic World, and then I got you know just a bunch of random plushes and different things up here. Like that's actually a souvenir right there from Disney World, and it is $50 for that small little orb. And then I got the Freddy plush. I got the light. I got a Sparky Nightlight. So that's always cool. I always like having, you know, different kinds of things like that. But I'm a huge pop culture guy. I love lots of different kinds of shows, all the things. So, you know, what kind of history. Right now we're currently in like the 1900s phase. So we're going up to like the Industrial Revolution and all the stuff. I don't know, man. I'm just at that point. Well, the 3 hour mark is finally approaching in 40 seconds, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end the stream here, guys. Is it me or did that yellow book moved? Yellow book. Yellow book. Yellow book. Yellow book. Now I'm scared. Now I don't even know. You might be in my house right now. I wouldn't know. Yellow book? What yellow book? I don't have a yellow book. Oh yeah, it was right here. Good night. Thank you everyone for watching. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we're gonna end it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Hey, watch out for memes too. I'll always be watching memes. Goodbye.